Hello and welcome everybody out there in Twitch and D&D land to the newest session of the Tal'Dorei campaign. Now, before we jump right into the action, as per usual, we have a few short announcements to get through. I'm just going to make this as quickly as possible since we are running a little bit behind today. Sorry about that. I had to get noms in my belly. First one is open slots. If you like D&D, you want to play D&D, all you have to do is reach out and let me know. I'd be happy to have you join into any of our pay-to-play games. We have a bunch of them happening Tuesday through Sunday. So, in fact, we just opened up a new complete open time slot for Sunday evenings. Any game, any campaign starting at 8 p.m. EST or 9 p.m. EST. Those are really the latest I can run, and I need that gap of time between this game and the next one. So I can, do anything. So if anybody is interested, be sure to reach out and let me know. Additionally, if you want to support what we do here, all you have to do is follow us over at any of our other platforms, all of our medias. We have a Twitch, we have a Twitter, we have a YouTube, and we have a Facebook. If you follow any of them, if you share them, if you comment, you like, you subscribe, whatever you have to do on those platforms, we really do appreciate it. We are trying to pump out more content for you, and I'm currently discussing with other creators things that we can do as well that can be interesting for people to do. I might be bringing back the community podcast, which would be pretty fun. I don't think any of you were around back when I used to do this, but yeah, we might be organizing that once again. Anyways, outside of that, we do want to talk about something else. Total Party Kill has started a new Kickstarter for the Volume 2 of their bestiary. I use Volume 1 on a daily basis. I think it is a phenomenal module. The person who writes it, I'm in his Discord server all the time. He's really interactive with everybody, making sure that the balancing is specifically what is needed, and the challenge rating is scaled not only on level, but difficulty for the primary classes in a party. So if you don't have well-balanced parties, you can still find interactions and combats that are really difficult or easier for them to handle. It's really great system. The first book is amazing, and the Kickstarter just went live this week. I think they've already crushed their first goal, if I am correct, or it was a different Kickstarter I was interacting with. But the link is down here if you are interested. But aside from that, I don't think anything else really that important is happening. So, Dorzen, what happened last session?
I thought Lauren said he was going to do the recap.
Lauren, what happened last session?
Yeah, I was just waiting to see what happened. We came to an agreement with the matron of the Goliath tribe we had come in contact with that almost crushed Sir Yurik. And after filtering out the evil players in our party, we came to the agreement that we would help them out to take care of the fake temple and get the Goliaths that had been captured and forced into acting as guides and had gotten lost inside this cave of sorts, and get them back to their people. We started traveling after Alarn had gotten a quick guidance vision from the matron, showing them the approximate direction they needed to go to the temple. And after a bit of traveling, we noticed that we were being followed. What quickly turned out to be a Goliath had followed us for quite some time. And with this, we were introduced to Canaroth, who joined the party. Not long after, we set up camp for the night, and in the morning, Sir Yurik started noticing pollen starting to spread, and quickly and painfully found out that it was poisonous. Being the last to be affected by the poison spores, Alarn jumped down from his branch sleeping spot, picked up Prissa, and ran straight to the flower, which then proceeded to eat them, and almost digested Prissa. Luckily, we survived and got out, slightly singed from the acid inside the flower, and very much thanks to Sir Yurik's wall of fire. After that, we finished our rest and got back in shape and started traveling again. Not much else happened other than some difficult terrain, slowing the group a little bit, and we came upon a man beating up a Goliath, trying to find the way to the fake temple. He tried to get away when Sir Yurik banished him, and we gathered around his last known position to beat the shit out of him as soon as he popped back. And that's pretty much where we are now.
Alrighty. So, as you are all gathering this individual up, you look over at that same sunken wood elf-like individual who was getting pummeled by this grotesque-looking man that none of you have ever heard his accent or anything about what he looks like or anything like that. It just looks foreign to each of you. You hog tie the other one, and the first is a little cautious until they see Sir Yurik and Dorzen with the markings on their face and goes, what is happening here?
Quick question first. So the guy who was beaten is a wood elf?
No, the person who is being captured and being forced to do whatever is a wood elf.
Oh, I thought it was a Goliath.
And the guy that we...
I might have said Goliath before, but my notes say it is wood elf.
Okay.
Yes.
I remember they were speaking a language that the people scouting did not understand.
Correct.
And the guy I banished, he's a human, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're time jumping like a couple of minutes. He came back, you gangbanged him, he's tied up.
All right.
He didn't stand a chance with all of your party having prep time.
Fair enough.
We are here to help.
Who are all of you?
We are travelers.
Well, they're shits, I'm not.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shit. This is a
you
foreign
heard-
word to me.
If you
Have
Want
you
to
heard
be
of
one
Vox
too?
Machina?
What is a...
Alright.
I am
forget
guessing
Wait,
not.
the shits. What is the shit?
It's
They look very
it's a-
confused.
It's a famous group of chuckle fucks that decide to make that their name to piss off elves.
I don't understand your terminology.
they're famous. They're famous adventurers, and that's what they chose as their name.
I'm sorry, are you them?
No, we are not.
We are what you might call
Associates.
yes, a sub-branch. But at the moment, we are in the service of the known way.
Okay.
Does he
So
look wounded, by the way?
They're pretty wounded. All superficial wounds, definitely not something that's like a mortal wound, but yeah. And I believe some of your party members are a little tweaked as well, maybe?
I got smacked.
Yeah,
a little hurt, but
I
from
mean,
my own volition.
yeah. Your party's
Yeah, we're not...
if it's not too much to ask, do you know why he was beating you? What he wanted?
Yes, he wanted me to show him to the to the bountiful.
He just says bountiful.
Yeah, and then he stops.
You mean the temple?
Temple. What is a temple? Their common is very bad. They understand it, but they don't understand a whole lot of modern terminology.
Is this easier for you to understand? I speak in Sylvan.
Is this easier? And I speak in Elvish.
Yes, I know that one.
We're looking for a temple that it's the Raksha, right? Jiro, the
Ruksha, yeah.
Raksha. The Raksha sent us to do a task.
You mean the sanctuary?
I believe that would be the place.
Why are they sending foreigners out to our charge?
Wait a minute.
We are to prove ourselves.
So all of you are trying to find the sanctuary, and what is your intent?
Prissa immediately plugs her ears because she knows that she's not supposed to know this, or at least maybe not supposed to know that one. I'm trying to remember which one she's not supposed to know.
I think it's 2 different places he's talking about.
We are bound by promise not to speak of what our task is.
I'll go check on Jimmy.
All you need to know is we're looking for the temple that foreigners keep trying to find because of their riches.
You keep calling it a temple. It is no temple.
It's in a cave or something, apparently.
It is the insatiable sanctuary.
Yes.
Does that ring with any of us, that title?
She did refer to it as the insatiable temple.
Well, may I ask what has happened with you and this guy? And I point to the bound guy.
I was on my way over to the sanctuary. A few of my people have been captured by his kind. I was trying to see if I can't find them, and he caught me along the way.
So, do you know where his kind is coming from, or do they have a camp or something?
Don't know.
Right. Well, I think we would appreciate any assistance you can offer, and of course, we will assist you to get back on your feet. And we pose no threat to your kind.
Roll a persuasion, Sir Yurik. Advantage because you just kind of saved their life.
Yeah. Oh.
Reasonable.
It's a good start.
All right, and they stick their hand up to you, trying to like stand up. They keep holding the hand out in front of you.
Oh yeah, I
okay, cool. There it's just you must not have that custom. Okay. Lift them up.
Yep.
Yes, I will show you how to get there. Looks back and like fumbles around the grassy area for a bit, where you notice there's kind of like a bag pulled off to the side. He opens up the bag, and he pulls out 2 daggers and a bow with a quiver from inside of it. The bow is made out of the same type of arching wood from this area around you, and the quiver itself is a woven basket type of quiver. The daggers are made of this glowing green rock that is semi-translucent. As he just gathers all of it, straps it to himself, and begins walking over towards the individual holding the dagger out.
I assume the guy we ganked is unconscious, or did we kill him?
He's unconscious. Yeah.
Okay.
But this individual is approaching that person with a dagger.
I'm going to make sure he's tied up.
He's-
Please stop. Are you planning to kill him?
Yes.
Please don't. He poses no threat at this moment. And,
His kind, his knowledge, and his people are the threat to mine.
Yes, and we need to know what he knows. We need to interrogate him. If he can tell us what his people is doing here and where they are located, maybe we can drive them off.
Did not think that civilized folks still partook in torture. This is fine. He
I did not mean
stows the dagger.
I did not mean torture. But there are...
Interrogate, that
There
is
are-
another word
there
for
are-
torture, right?
It's
Well,
torture, but with rules.
Well, it's more we have magic that can force the truth.
When I say interrogate, I mean through dialogue. Speaking with him. And persuading him to tell us.
Yes,
So,
persuading.
Okay. Points at Dorzen. Okay. Alright. How many are you? You seem to keep multiplying, as Prissa and Jimmy, I assume, are kind of like over in the bushes. What are the two of you talking about?
Well, Prissa was just commenting that Ouch, the improvements on Ouch have gotten like very impressive, and she's admiring his work, and I assume Jimmy's rambling on about what he wants to do to continue improving Ouch. I would assume, but
I mean, in the small amount of time I have been able to work on him, he's definitely doing much better. Got him moving a little quicker, and definitely built him up a bit tougher. But the chassis, this weather doesn't do much for it. I'm
And
gonna have to look at that.
well, I've heard there's plenty of different metals. What if? My friend is a blacksmith back at Emon. If we bring her some of these ingots, maybe she might be able to help craft you a better chassis for Ouch out of the ingots we got from the dwarves.
Hi. And I just look at the individuals who are looking over towards us.
Oh, Prissa waves too.
He waves. Hello.
Are you okay? Is everybody all right?
Yes, we're fine.
We are going to interrogate the plump one.
The guy's tied up, right?
Mhm.
Dorzen's just gonna kick him with a hoof to wake him up.
I don't think you understand what hooves do to people. Roll
Dorzen, I
damage.
said we were not going to torture him.
He covers his
What torture?
hooves
This
in
is
like a
like Enoch.
pillow like leaves, and then he just hoofs him with a leaf pillow.
His head cracks against the tree.
Did I just kill him?
You're a fucking horseman. No, he just failed 2 death saves.
Oh, I.
Immediately cast
Okay,
healing
I'm backing
word
up.
on him.
All right, Shinken. Oh, with huge amount of blood gushing down his head. Oh, what are you all doing? Oh,
I was going to say, Dorzen, before that
Sorry.
I have
Forgot how
not
strong
prepared.
this is against skulls.
I have not prepared my interrogation-oriented spells this day.
interrogation. Oh, wait, you're not just going to kill me? Fucking A.
I mean,
That's
we
a good
can.
day. He looks over at you, Dorzen, and goes, Dorzen? Dorzen?
I'm sorry, do I recognize this person?
Roll history.
Oh, shit!
Captain, my captain. I don't know.
Nope.
No, but he's saying your name with curiosity.
Yes, that is my name.
From, Drenna.
You have me at a disadvantage. Who are you? Looking up notes.
Yes, looking at notes. I am a I was a seaman on the ship. Not very long ago, of course. You attacked our ship one night. Yeah. How you been, man? Oh, my head hurts. Oh.
Yeah, sorry about that. Had to wake you up.
Yeah. I like the word better. So, hello. You are looking for the treasure as well, right?
People keep saying there's a treasure. What treasure?
The insatiable treasure. The hoards of everybody that's ever ventured in. Only the natives can traverse it. You don't know?
I know about the stupid tourist trap that keeps killing people, yes.
Oh yeah, to kill stupid people. Don't be stupid. Don't get caught. That's our motto. So wait, is the rest of the crew here?
Is this the ocean?
Well, I mean, we're not that far.
We're pretty far.
There's pathways. So is that a no? I figured your crew would have been all over this like the other ones.
Where did you hear about this treasure?
Oh, it was being whispered around different ports and different holes around the coast area. People kept talking it up and bringing it up in conversation. Someone seemed to believe that a few relics that they had, they actually got from it, but they just walked in the surface. But how pretty and shiny it was.
You know, as a seaman, I would assume you take your information with a bit more grain of salt.
Oh, we did. We took the information, we took the individual, we got the information out of them, and we saw how pretty all of the items were that they got. The necklace was worth a small fortune alone. Captain still has it.
Where is your captain?
Oh, I don't know.
You mean to tell me you walked all the way through this jungle without your crew to hope to get the treasure beforehand?
There was a few of us. We broke up in groups. I'm by
And
myself
why are
now.
you alone with this?
Oh, 'cause they died.
Yeah, that's about right.
Did
You
you
know.
kill them?
Not directly. One of them, there was a pretty robust looking creature chasing us, and, well, I couldn't outrun it. I could outrun him.
I see.
Yeah.
So you have no idea where the rest of your crew is?
I imagine they found their way over to that temple or whatever it is. Cave, cavern. Oh, these people keep calling it different things. I don't think they even know what the fuck they have. So wait, why'd you all come out here for it?
That is none of your concern.
We're all friends here, right? You
No,
hit
we
me
are
a
not.
little, I hit you a little. You tie me up, I pretend not to like it. Good.
Well, For the moment, I believe we will hand you over to
There are
the
no
one.
authorities in the jungle.
No authorities, no, but there is the tribes. And who better to judge him than the one he hurt?
Really? You're gonna allow them to rip me limb from limb? Mr. Looks at you, Sir Yurik. Paladin.
Close.
Krista calls out from the distance. Is he being cooperative? Do I
Yes,
need to come
Krista,
over and
don't
cast
worry.
a spell?
He
If
like
they're
peeks around the
jeeps.
corner. Hello, little one. Waves with their tied hands.
Krista waves back.
I mean, you would not allow a civilized person to be tortured, tormented, spiked on a pike, and put on display by these filthy people, would you?
You do remember I'm a pirate, right?
Oh, I know you would, but you're working with that. Morals and things.
Well, I think you seem to misunderstand the situation here. You see, my jurisdiction is not does not supersede the jurisdiction of the people who live here. And if their judgment is that you should be executed, well then, that's the way it goes.
Then execute me yourself, please.
All right.
Now you will
Take
be
out one of my
tried.
scimitars.
I stop. Like, I suggest instead, maybe we use him to.
You're really quiet, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
I suggest that maybe instead, we use him to guide the way to make sure there's no traps.
Well, I highly doubt his.
Attack him.
I do believe our new friend here would be more appropriate for that task, since he knows the land, and from what he said, I believe he is one of the protectors of the place.
Right.
Isn't that right? What is your name, by the way? Looking to the elf.
Dion.
Dion. My name is Ilaren.
He nods at you. I know the land around it. I do not know the inside. But I'm really good at not dying. So, if you push me in
Says the
front of
man
you,
bound up, surrounded with blood coming off his head.
still not dead.
Not yet.
Changed very quickly.
Of course. But would you want to risk your own people? You could just keep my hands bound, push me in front of you.
We fought you for a good minute, and you teleported away. You think we're that stupid?
Jero, can I ask a side question? Just
Sure.
as a refresher from last week.
Yeah.
When we saw this individual, he was tying up, or was he about to execute the local?
He was tying him up.
Okay.
And also beating him.
Well, if we are worried about
I mean, we're
magic,
not even a step above that at this point, so.
if we're worried about magic, we can always gag him.
See, one of you has a bigger brain in the head.
And if we're
Yes,
worried in
but you
case
haven't
he's the kind
considered-
that can bypass that, we can always break his fingers as well.
Well, that seems a little excessive.
Canneroth, I think he was making fun of your big head. Not that that's a bad thing.
Your head is very proportionate to your body.
Anyway,
I can tomorrow put him under a gesh, as it's called, a GS.
Yes.
Like, yes.
Yeah, I actually looked it up. It's supposed to be pronounced gesh. It's from Gaelic.
yeah, but
Sure.
it's freaking anime.
Oh well. And if I look at the guy, willingly submits to it, he will be allowed to live so long as he does what I instruct him to when I cast the spell.
Seems like I have very little choice in the matter, so I accept. See? Good at living.
We will see.
So is it all right for me and Jimmy to come back over there now?
Oh, I'm already, dude.
Oh, I was sorry.
I walked over. Yeah.
I was going by the map.
There is quite a few of you here, huh? Pretty interesting. Menagerie of people, in fact.
Prissa,
Yeah.
did you recognize that spell he used to get away?
Jero, did I recognize that spell he used to get away? Because I'm thinking it's either Misty Step or it's maybe a Dimension Door, but...
I don't know if you have it, but I know Alarin does have Misty Step, so...
Yep.
You are familiar.
I do have
enough-
Misty Step.
You are familiar enough with magic in general that a second level spell you understand.
No, I have Misty Step, and I even have it prepared, so...
Yeah. It is a simple trick of the wrist. If you would like to see again, I can do it. Not trying to outrun you, I'm not that stupid. The big guy has a good nose. And what happened? You were all big and fluffy.
I didn't transform that night.
No, this morning.
None of your concern.
I thought it
Quite
was an
sure, I
interesting
mean,
trick. I was interested in learning.
Wait, you... This morning? Jero, quick question. When this morning, that was with the plant, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You saw us?
Yeah. I thought at first you were some native seeing the little kitty cat in the tree. But then, when everything started going south, I figured you were all dead. Took another glance or two and then kept on my way. You were cutting it awfully close to the dawn.
It was all a part of the plan.
Sure. Listen, I'm not judging any of you. You're doing your best, I'm sure.
So, Prissa, what does he need to do that spell?
Well, for that spell, I'm sorry, I'm looking up the spell components now.
Yeah.
Well, he only needs to be able to speak.
Yeah, it's a verbal sort of spell.
Hey.
It's an incantation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much a flick of the wrist as is just say something and he's already poofed.
Yeah.
In that case, and I will take out a dirty blackened rag and just shove it in his mouth.
That looks very unclean. Oh, that looks unsanitary.
Oh.
Pressa uses prestidigitation to make it taste like mint.
Oh.
Yeah, because before it was tasting like soot.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So, Dion looks at all of you and goes, so we're going to use him as bait in the temple. That is suitable for me.
Well, we're bringing him along anyway. He
Yeah.
might prove useful.
If he
Unless-
betrays any of us, I am going to kill him without hesitation.
Fair enough.
Yes, I have no objections to that.
Good.
I think we all agree that that is a prudent course of action anyway.
Yep.
I don't like that sort of idea, but if it's necessary,
Mm, It is tribal justice.
The elf looks down at you, Prissa. Why do you all bring a child with you?
Well, I'm actually older than I look. I'm a gnome.
They don't get any taller.
I've tried. Though I have an illusion that can make me look taller.
It acts like a child.
Yes.
Older than me.
And she is taller than you too.
Only by a little bit.
She might act like a child, but she is quite capable when push comes to shove.
Well, we have the rest of his people to hunt down and murder, and then we have my people to save. He kind of like sheathes the dagger back into his belt and reaches past him for that whip he was holding and just like coils it over his shoulder.
Right.
I'll pick
we
up
should
our.
take his weapons.
Yeah, I was about to say as well.
Roll an investigation check, whoever's taking his weapons.
I'll help.
I'll make the check.
Alright, you're being helped.
I'll definitely take care of his whip anyway.
Dion took his whip. Alright, Dorzen, you take the whip, you take the short sword, you find a dagger in his boots, and that's it.
I'll put him over my shoulder.
You count as size large for carrying, so you can carry him. However, it is going to be very exhausting in a jungle to carry somebody for a long period of time.
Wait, that's a special whip, right?
Yeah. Dion took it back.
Oh.
Well, let us do the rescuing first. And perhaps later on we can have a raggedy friend here. Maybe show us how he got into the jungle via the sea.
Right. And I think when I look at the elf, I think for the moment our goals coincide. But we're not particularly in a hurry, but we still need to focus on our quest. However noble it is.
Do not need you all to cater to us. As long as you helped me get my family back, heading in the same direction, we'll be fine.
Yes.
You called yourselves shit, Ellie.
That is more of a rank than our name. When you mention it, I do not believe our group actually has a name for ourselves.
I think we called ourselves the Associates before, when we still had Tessa and Alfie
Yes,
and
and
Grunt.
look what that got him.
Such a boring name.
Need to call ourselves anything particular? It feels a bit, should we say?
It would help in some circumstances, I do believe. But something a bit more, considering our journey so far, the Wayfarers.
It's a little close to home for you, doesn't it?
Perhaps.
It is a little on the nose.
Maybe we should wait until we're out of the jungle to do this.
I say we call ourselves the Clenched Fist of Justice.
I think
Well,
that's a
that's
little
just-
too long.
Too rigid. Anyways.
CFJ.
Yeah, the CFJ. As I said, I don't particularly think we should necessarily have to call ourselves anything. I am Yurik Falcone. You are
Oh,
Well,
we could just let the people decide what they call us by our reputation. So it, I mean,
you
it kind
do
of.
not want that.
Why not?
I may have done some things in the past that gave me some bad reputation.
Oh, I don't believe that, Dorzen. You're a good guy.
On
Krista,
top
I was
of
literally a pirate.
on top of Connor Roth's shoulder.
Eh,
I suppose we could call ourselves, if the Wayfarers is a bit too on the nose, or like
Well, no, I think.
Pathfinders or something.
I'm assuming you're all walking while you have this conversation.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
please.
Yeah.
So, Dion is just looking very confused because every other word he is understanding from you all. You keep walking
Stupid
for...
foreigners, speak my language.
You're in my jungle now, bitch. But as you all keep walking through the area, you continue on until about evening time, and with the assistance of Dion, it is very easy to traverse this land, actually. He seems naturally adept at it, and you're able to navigate through some harsher territories than would be usual for most of your kind. He's even being conscientious of Dorzen's ability to climb and help you out in that regard as well. However, as you...
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. While we're traveling, I want to ask him a little bit about the flora and fauna in the area. I guess we had sort of a harsh lesson with that pollen plant thing. So,
And the deer.
yeah, if he could tell us a little bit about what specific things to watch out for.
Yeah.
Do you understand this? He says in Elven.
I do.
Yeah.
If necessary, I can translate.
I turn on my helmet.
Ding!
What was that?
Do you understand this?
Yes, I say in common.
Alright, so he's going to speak in Elvish. Prissa will translate easily. And I'm not going to use that voice the entire time because my throat is a little bit sore. Sorry. But anyways, the flora and fauna in this area are all incredibly dangerous. Most of the creatures that live out this way are predators, about 90% of them. However, there is no ipso facto food chain in this area. It is survival of the fittest amongst all of them, although certain creatures are more vulnerable to others. More or less all of them are equally deadly if they are not warned against. For
It's a
the
Zerg.
flora... What'd you say?
No, that was just making a StarCraft joke.
Okay, cool. So for the flora, he suggests that none of them are edible unless they have these thick red berries underneath them. The berries can only be found in clusters of 3. If you find something that has more than 3, do not eat it. And with the berries, it's best to mash them together and then to add it to something else to make it taste a little bit better and get the necessary nutrients. For the fauna, he warns you of patches of grass that are a little discolored, a slightly brighter shade of green. There are creatures that dwell underneath those patches, and that is actually the fur on top of their head. If you step onto it, the creatures are massive and will consume you whole. It is very rare for people to be able to face one of these creatures and come out alive. Additionally, there are large groups of apes in the area, giant apes, but for them they're just apes. They don't have medium-sized apes. They always run in packs of 6 minimum, and confrontation always happens with the smallest one first, so that they can gauge their threat in parties. They are incredibly intelligent, and they are how do I say this?
Aggressive?
Packed animals. No, they're packed animals. They will hunt you, use one as a distraction, and guide you into a trap where they can kill you. They are very intelligent and very packed. And he just finishes up. And, there are many, many other things. I suggest you either choose to deal with the things higher in the tree, like the coppas do, or you stay down on the ground like the Rintal.
Can Prissa do a quick insight check too? Like while she was translating, taking notes, can she just take a peek at the guy they're bringing with them and see if he understands what the elf's saying?
Sure, go for it.
Could you write down what I assume is clan names or tribe names?
Mhm. That person does not understand Elvish.
Okay,
Prissa.
good to know.
So, Rintal and Fulton. The ground dwellers and the tree hoppers. The
Thank
two
you.
different tribes in this direct territory. We're going to be sticking closer to the ground. I know it's much better. You approach during your journey into a section of trees that are hooking and weaving over top of each other, creating somewhat of a canopy just from their very massive, you call those, roots that stick out. And as he gets over to it, he kind of like ducks and starts moving underneath. Dorzen, with your boots, you're not going to fit underneath there with your horseshoes.
Can you hover sideways?
No.
Drag him sideways underneath the roots.
Yeah, something like that.
Can I get a jumping start to get over it, or is it unable to?
It's vast. You're moving into a different section of the jungle where it is like that. Now, there is a route on top that he said is possible, but he's familiar with this route.
Prissa, can you do that thing where you shrink me again?
Give me a moment.
I will suffer the indignity, just don't make me anything too poofy.
Yeah, so I don't have enlarge and reduce, but I do have polymorph. So Prissa takes out the thing for polymorph, which I don't remember the component, but I think it's a cocoon.
Yep.
And then she casts polymorph on Dorzen to turn him into, let's go with a hummingbird.
Dorzen. Now you have to eat every single 5 seconds or you will die.
Was horsefly, and you completely missed it.
Come on, Prissa. You could have had a DM inspiration for that one, Prissa.
Oh, does a hummingbird count as a beast?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, bird. They're not monstrous, just hummingbirds. But yes, as you turn into that tiny little and starts flying through the area, the rest of you kind of like hunch, or let me rephrase, some of you kind of like hunch over and start traversing. Prissa and Jimmy, for the first time during this travel, you are actually walking. Oh, wait. Yeah. Can you ride Ouch?
Yeah.
Okay. Prissa, for the first time in this journey, you are walking.
I didn't know you could ride him like that, Jimmy.
I mean, he is a little delicate, but I don't weigh a lot. And yeah, it's kind of like a skateboard. Like, there's just enough foot room to where I can, like, be on top of him, but it's not very
It's not so much a
Hummingbird doors in
skateboard
the
as it
city
is
on
one of
Chris's
those what's it called? The
Boogie boards?
not boogie boards, but you know those the mopeds? No. The one where you kind of just stand and you have a little
Segway.
it's like a scooter. Segway, yes.
So you have a Segway. All right, cool.
Lauren just goes down on all fours.
Yeah.
Stretches real good and
Sir Uric and Conoroth, both of you are stuck hunched over moving through here, bending and, probably hurting your back a little bit.
Doing like the limbo and the full plate.
Yeah. And Conoroth, you're just big. So, but you're nimble. So, as you all get underneath the canopy of roots in this area, you start traversing even further. Noticing the grass shifting into that lighter tone, he points it out and you all walk directly around it. His feet are within inches of it, undisturbed, and just keeps walking around. Prissa and Jimmy, give me a perception check while you're down here. That's about right. Prissa, you see this yellow moss growing on the inside of the tree legs. It glows with this very faint hue of white light around it. That is, as you are just quickly noticing, the only actual source of light in this location. It looks odd and like something you've never really seen before, but intriguing.
That's fascinating. Dion, it's this moss here. Is this safe to touch?
To touch with your hands, not your mouth.
Alright, and Prissa's gonna take her, I think she has a dagger. She's gonna take that as well as a vial from the thing and just take a sample of this moss.
Okay. How much? Are you filling the vial?
Yeah, it's a small little vial.
Okay. You start scraping it off the tree, and you notice the section of the tree that it was on is red, as you just and just filter it in. Jimmy, what were you saying?
Canaroth, are you afraid of metal sticks? Is that why I can't just touch you with this one? I'm like holding the actuator in my hand.
No.
I mean, does Hummingbird
I'll let you hold it.
Have enough attention to poke Jimmy with his nose?
You can do it if you want to do it. I'm okay. Like, if you break it, I'll just fix it. It's okay.
Your curiosity is
asking
insatiable.
them questions about it.
So at this point, Conoroth, I need you to give a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Come on. Doing anything?
He is incredibly persistent, but you manage to maintain your temper as much as you would like.
I'm being so nice about this.
Oh, absolutely, but nice people who ask a lot of questions get really annoying. But yeah, you can maintain your temper, no problem. So, you keep walking through the area, and after about another 4 hours of travel, Dion kind of stops next to a root, looks around the location. Alright, I think this is where we need to take a break.
Sounds good. Sir Dion, sir, this moss I took a sample of, is it is there anything special about it? Because from what I noticed, all it does is glow.
That is special. Glows.
I'm doing a nature check on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can Prissa do a check to see if she can understand why it glows?
Nature.
it is bioluminescent.
Yeah, both of you know that. It is bioluminescent. That's it. It's not a very common thing either, but, It does happen in nature, mostly in more reclusive areas. Prissa, with your knowledge of the Underdark, you would know that that is much more common down there than it is in a surface area. Certain mosses and overgrowths have adapted to be bioluminescent in order to either attract people towards them or to coexist around other inhabitants that can protect their habitat.
Oh, interesting.
So.
Is there another sample of it nearby?
You see it periodically. If you wanted to take a little bit, you could have.
Yeah, because I'd be curious if I could determine if it'd be useful for any kind of alchemy-based uses.
By the way, how
Roll.
much of a light does it give off?
About a 10-foot hue in your little vial. Not bad.
I've got a. Yeah, okay, so it's a pretty good glow stick.
So Conaroth, go ahead and give me. I'll say. You said alchemical, so I'll count this as Arcana. Just because there's. I mean, no, make an alchemical test. Check. Intelligence based. Alrighty. Alchemist supplies are good.
They are.
You kind of scrape a bit more of it off using one of your many weapons. You start sniffing at it and you push it across the blade very easily, and you start realizing similarities between it and other properties. Upon smelling it with your very keen sense of smell, you can tell that it does have a volatile nature to it. The thick amount of moisture that is on it is probably to keep it satiated. However, you get the feeling that if you were to dry this out, it could be as volatile as gunpowder, potentially more.
Ooh.
So, you're all taking a short rest here in the jungle while you are testing this with your knowledge and supplies. And you see Dion kind of like removes the thick wrappings around his feet and legs, not actual shoes. And you notice that he has very large gashes in his heel and areas around that, as well as he's starting to just tend to it.
Would you like assistance with that? I can.
Are you a medicine man?
Well, sort of. The Changebringer has given me some gifts.
Changebringer.
She who makes the path.
Ah, okay. He gestures. First, roll me a medicine check, Alarin, as you get closer.
Yeah. 11.
Okay. His foot got stuck in some type of metallic trap. Probably looks a day old at best.
Let me assist you a little bit here.
You want me to help clean it?
I can.
I take out my healer's kit and start trying to help him, if he allows it.
He trusts you all.
Well, Prissa starts by just prestidigitation, clean the area around the wound.
Okay.
Alarn will put in 5 points of lay on hands to get rid of disease in the wound.
Okay.
And then another 5 points to seal it.
Alrighty. You begin sealing the wound up, and as you are doing that, you do notice there are sections of the leg that have been like distorted and chewed all the way through. And this is going to be a very painful thing for him to have to deal with. The bones just aren't set properly anymore inside of it, and somehow he's been able to walk this entire time.
I look at Ilaran a little bit annoyed. You're too hasty. You need to take some time once in a while.
But it feels much better.
Well, I suppose, but your bones will not set straight. Unless we reopen the wound and I can fix them.
Fix the bone. It is fine. We are tough people. We can live.
Alright.
Well, he is a bit more skilled in the medicine art than I am.
Yurik, would you like to make a medicine check?
I was going to use the healer's kit to check with that.
Yeah. Go for it. You have that feat, don't you?
Yeah, I'm proficient with it. But I roll shit anyway, so yeah.
Yeah. You get about the same amount of knowledge. You know that if you had time to lay down and like tend to the wound actually and give him like 3 to 4 weeks of bed rest, he would let it mend. You're not sure if that's even a practical thing in this environment. However, you're also more than aware that there are certain levels of magic that can regenerate people. They're just a lot more intensive than some of your studies. Well, thank you. I will be fine living with this for now. And he just wraps up his foot once again.
Fair enough.
Would it be if not opening the wound, but pulling the leg out to snap it back in place and then put more
That's
healing?
not with broken bones, that's joints.
Yeah, no. With pulled joints, no problem. With broken bones, no. You'll
No,
splinter, you'll
way too
break, you'll
dangerous.
split.
It's more pulling it so it's more or less in the right shape, and then putting healing in it to mend it.
Sir Yurik would know with his very high amount of skill in medicine that it does not work like that at all. If you try pulling the bones and just forcing them to be in place, you can have splintered fractions from it. It can sit into the body, it can splinter off, it can cause internal bleeding, hemorrhaging, death. This is something that involves precision, not force at all.
Yeah, I didn't mean just tear it back in place, but gently put it so at least it's...
That's still force against it. You need to... For something like that, it doesn't work like that for bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least it won't get more damage.
It's not like a split cut even straight through. It's more of a toothy bear trap snapped into his leg and splintered off sections of the bone.
No.
So it doesn't heal that easily. Now, it's not a clean cut all the way through either. It's just sections of it that are broken. I guess an inline fracture would probably be the better way to describe it, but like, it's still nothing that is easy to deal with. But they are hard, sturdy people. They can survive with pretty bad wounds.
Yeah, so would have just picked out the loose bone splinters and then sealed the wound down.
We've already done it.
Yeah, but if I saw loose bone splinters,
it doesn't still. You would have to like cut his entire leg open and take all of it out.
Jero,
which again,
how long are we doing this?
This is a short rest.
How long has it been?
At this point, it's probably been like half an hour into the short rest.
Okay.
Yes, Jimmy?
I'm just going to make a device so he can walk. It's going to like attach at the base of his leg, and it's just going to be like a peg leg, but it's going to like work its way around the outside. So if I could use the remaining half hour to just fix something. No, not a splint. Like it's going to attach at the base of his leg so his leg can just hang and he can like walk.
So it takes the pressure away from him.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead and make a... do you have anything that says I can do this? If not, make a tinkerer's check.
Yeah, I'm a tinkerer. I'm just like find some branches and use like some of my screws and stuff to just fasten a kind of makeshift device.
Alrighty.
Tinker
away.
Okay.
And I'm gonna flash my genius because this is what I care about. I've never done this before. I want it to be good. 35.
You're already a 31.
Listen, it can be better. It can be better. He's
Better.
not
Made
at
it-
40
You've already
yet.
done the impossible.
I am patenting this device right now. I
I'm
have
cast-
it written up, and I'm taking this back to Iman, and we're going to sell it. Okay.
You're gonna make a
I'm
lot of
casting guidance
soldiers
on him
really
as he's
happy.
doing it.
Go ahead, add a D4.
You're making the first exoskeleton in D&D.
No, guidance. Another
guidance.
D4. Yeah.
This is gonna be.
So flash of genius. That's a
First
38.
Working prosthetic limb in D&D.
So, Jimmy, this is what you do. You tinker up a baseline attachment to the leg that mostly looks like a cast. It encompasses the majority of the upper calf down to the actual foot and covering that area, keeping it perfectly in place and precise. It's very snug fitted, and you add a little bit of the grass in the area to, cushion it a bit more. And then around that, you attach this large kind of contraption that you have to really finagle and take your time with, that goes directly on the side of the leg, goes a little bit past the foot, and has a hydraulic system to sit and push. As pressure is coming down from the hip, it will extend that pressure to the foot to allow them to walk. Now, he's walking with more or less a club leg at this point, but it has zero pressure on the foot. It is a fully functioning hydraulic system that honestly you could use on somebody without any mobility in their legs, as long as they had mobility in their hips, and give them the ability to walk one day.
Jimmy, I have a suggestion. Maybe you should patent that right there, because maybe if some people lose limbs and that's or can't walk, and that seems like a very good invention right there.
Well, I just took a couple of the notes I had for some of the appendages for Ouch, and just modified them on a bigger scale. But I've got them all written down. I'll take them with me. And
Now, because
sorry.
it was only 1 hour to do this,
Sorry.
it is noisy. So you hear the compression, the psh, 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 as the individual is walking. However, he stands up on it and starts moving, and he tries jumping, and he expects the worst, and just catches him on the foot, and he goes, "That is... what do you call this magic?"
I surprised myself. I'm glad that didn't break. No, not magic. Just
Science?
just a little engineering. That's all. Sorry, I just wasn't
Engineering.
I didn't mean to imply that you needed this, but
This is...
got bored.
this is tremendous. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem.
Can I keep this?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't take it from you.
Look, I can make you walk, and I can take it away.
You better do what I say.
Jimmy, you should really focus a bit more on doing those kinds of things. That is a really good thing you did there.
I mean, you all seem to be so preoccupied. I just thought of the simplest solution. And it's super complicated.
Jimmy, that's not exactly simple. Although I'm pretty sure that Prissa, she doesn't quite get engineering, but she's smart enough to know that's not.
On a 38, this is incomprehensible 9th level magic to you, Prissa. You're like, what the fuck? He just distorted reality.
I just MacGyvered this bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a roll of 22, I think I understand some things.
You understand that what he did was what the fuck. Just... Alright. Yeah?
During the rest, I'm going to definitely start collecting more of the moss, and I want to try and determine what I could do to maybe make it grow outside of this environment.
Okay, roll me a survival check to see how much you gather, and then a nature check to see how you could make it. All right, you can fill about 2 vials.
Okay, so that'll be Up to 3 vials. And nature.
Okay. You have to keep it moist, so you're probably gonna have to drop some fresh, clean water into it periodically. It seems to grow attached specifically to trees, so you imagine you have to give it some source of a high fiber like substance to keep it sustained, which, I mean, you can take tree bark and just feed it in there that it can chew off of. You're not sure how long it'll take for it to actually succeed. And you feel like you probably have to keep it in a low light environment. So out of sunlight.
DM.
Yeah.
Do you know? Well, I mean, you know a lot about the forest here. I was wondering if.
I'm so sorry. You said Dion. I thought you said DM. I was like, yeah, what?
I
of
heard
course,
DM
yeah, it's
too.
me. Yeah.
I heard DM too.
Thank you.
I don't know where you're going with that. I was
was
like,
the
DM, you know so much about this forest. Tell us everything.
Well, yes,
that
it's like
was
I read
actually
the
his
book.
name, DM.
No, it's
Well,
Dion.
all this summer's like,
All right.
how does he know about dice?
Do you have any? Well, do you know of any plants with healing properties?
Those would be. I know there are some, but you'd have to communicate with the Fulton. They grow higher up in the tree line, needing daylight to sustain.
Right. Well, I'm far from an expert when it comes to herbalism, but I do know some people who would appreciate some. Well, if there is any sort of things that are undiscovered to my people.
As long as you do not tell them where you found it, I don't mind. We've had issues in the past where your people have come to our forest for the resources.
All right. Well,
we
if it can be,
we don't want
Yeah.
that again.
no, I understand. Well, if there is any, or if there are any plants that can be grown elsewhere that would benefit my people, and still it wouldn't necessarily make them want to come here if it can be grown.
You rolled a 25 on persuasion. Really fucking likes you. When we find my sister, she is a as you call them, herbalist. She should be able to tell you more. I just know basic survival.
All right. Well, thank you.
After the rest is complete, you all begin walking again, listening to the very loud contraption around Dion just Congratulations, Jimmy. You're 1/8 on the way of building a mech.
But don't worry, by the time we get to
Jimmy.
Well, no, I was gonna say by the time we hit level 20 and stuff, we're fighting like some giant titan or whatever. Then Jimmy shows up in like this whole Gundam
Don't
suit.
worry, guys. I've been working on this with Mitch the whole time.
Let me roll out.
Yeah.
Gee.
Yeah.
Shows up in an
Jimmy
Iron Man
comes-
suit.
Jimmy, no, not an Iron Man suit. Jimmy comes with a Gurren
Fucking
Laga mech.
Nah, he
I'm
comes
thinking
in
more
with
like
a
Mark-
Zoid.
Mark 1 Iron Man.
Possibly. I think that is like the level 20 feat for artificers. You become Iron Man. But
No,
anyways.
if anything, like he has it, so Ouch jumps on his chest, and from there, Ouch becomes the suit.
Maybe.
Uh,
But anyways.
Black Sabbath starts playing.
You all keep pushing through this canopy, and the hour does go by indoors, and you're kind of like stuck lying there on the ground because your hover feet are trying to keep you up in the air.
Do you need me to turn you into another animal?
Doesn't seem like I need to. Or is it something I just need to power through?
I mean, you can try powering through. You can try turning into another animal. You could try taking the fucking shoes off.
They're horseshoes. They're nailed in.
I mean, it's a magical horseshoe. You can take them off.
Yeah,
But maybe just
clip-ons.
deactivate them is maybe a thing. I don't know.
Unattuned to them, and they are attunement, right?
you
No,
made
they're
them
horseshoes.
Yeah, you can just take them off. If you took them off, you would walk.
I mean, I got shrink formula if that's what you want, Dorzen.
Dorzen's gonna take like 5 minutes to take off the 4 horseshoes.
Alrighty.
A
And you
pretzel
did that
help.
at the end. Yeah, you did that at the end of the short rest. So take them off, get yourself situated. And now, for the first time in forever, you can feel the grass around your hooves. It's so nice. It's so soft. So lovely. So, you all continue traversing through the area. I would like a perception check from whoever's in the lead right now next to Dion. Dion is tracking the area, but one of you can keep a watch out as you are moving.
I'll
me
be
or
up
Lauren, I
front.
suppose. I'll be covering the back then.
Alrighty.
19.
Not bad. Not bad at all. So, as you are moving through this area, you do see on a couple of odd situations that the canopy above you darkens and then lightens very quickly, and you start paying close attention to that, and you start picking up that something is probably above you, above the thick roots, not being able to get down here, and tracking after you as well.
Are there large predatory birds in the area?
Not. There are predatory birds, but not that large.
Jimmy starts putting away the chain he was like starting to take out of his bag.
Okay.
There seems to be something tracking us at least.
Is it close by?
It does not seem like they can get down here. But if we head into open area, just be on your guards.
Trissa's on Dorzen's back right now, right? I thought that's the usual thing, but I just wanted to ask.
If you would like
Dorzen
to be
make
sure, but Dorzen is like hunched over down here moving, so if you're on his back, you're probably like leaning forward.
If a horse could squat down.
Yeah, that's Dorzen's very uncomfortable.
The horse part is not the problem. It's the man on top of the
In
horse
that
that's
case,
the problem.
hearing that and stuff, Jimmy is still riding Ouch, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, walking probably at the same speed. I only need to get on Ouch if we're going through like less than ideal, like watery terrain.
Jimmy, may I ride Ouch for a little bit? I'm gonna try something.
Sure, if you want to.
Alright, so Prissa gets on Ouch, and then she's going to cast Arcane Eye, and she's going to send that eye basically upwards where she had the idea where Alarian said someone's tracking us.
And the eye can move through solid objects, right?
You can get through some pretty small cracks.
Right, it is the
Yeah,
size of an
it's-
eye, but alright, if you wanted to cast it above you, you could do that.
Yeah.
But you'd have
And
to
Yeah,
cast it
the-
above the canopy.
It says
Then-
a solid barrier blocks the eye's movement, but the eye can pass through an opening as small as 1 inch in diameter.
Right, so it would take a little bit of
Tree
perception, but
branches.
you can do it, yeah. It's up there. Vroom.
Okay.
You send the eye up. Roll me a perception check, please. 31. You see that there is one of these giant apes swinging from the trees and like perching and watching down below and swinging and getting further away, and waits until you pass it to swing again.
So it definitely seems like this thing knows we're here.
Oh, absolutely. Additionally,
Prissa-
you notice further away in the jungle treetops is about 3 more of them, just staying really high up.
Prissa uses message to share this information with her party.
Can Prissa sense herself?
I'm sorry?
Can Prissa like sense her body and stuff when she's doing the eye?
I'm pretty sure it's like a cognizant, like awareness sort of
I
thing.
only ask because Ouch has no idea of like self-presence other than Jimmy. So like letting Prissa ride Ouch is okay, but Ouch isn't going to be like, oh, she almost slipped, I need to catch her. He's just going. He doesn't care.
So yes, the way I'm gonna treat it is you probably just use one of your eyes and you're seeing everything like that. So it's kind of like a split screen for yourself in your own head.
Oh god, this is so disorienting.
Like
Be careful.
Miss
That's
Potato
all
Head from that one Toy Story.
Sure.
Gotta
Yeah, Toy Story
understand.
27, I remember. Yeah.
But yeah, that's yeah. While Prissa's struggling to do that, she's relaying all this information that she's seen about 3 of these apes, right?
3 up high, 1 directly tracking.
It looks like they know we're here.
Keep in mind there will be 6 of them.
Oh,
They always travel
Prissa
in
is-
packs of 6.
so knowing where at least 2 or 3 of them are, Prissa's gonna use the eye to basically look around, like not just like stay where it is and look around, like actually move around and look.
Roll another perception check. Can't find the other 2.
I'm literally looking at like the mechanical leg that's probably the source of what's making them come to us.
Can Prissa see
Probably
like where
the
we?
hydraulic leg.
Yeah, I'm just looking at like.
Can Prissa like look down with the eye and see on the canopy at the path we're going along, or is it?
You can see the canopy spreads wide, but you don't see the same overlying loops and areas that you are stepping into. Are you waiting to say something?
I would
No,
say
I mean Gorinsky. Your hands are up. Are you waiting?
No, I'm gonna catch Prissa if she falls off of Ouch.
Oh, okay, I got you. I thought you were like, I want to go next.
And in that case, Prissa is going to send the eye ahead a little bit.
Okay.
To just scout ahead to see if there's anything there.
Okay. It follows the pathway, and you do notice that there are more clusters of animals that seem to reside in trees. You see sloths, you see large birds sitting and perched on the tree line themselves, another group of these apes not very far away. It's kind of passing between large trunks to perceive in the entire area, and the ground level that you are walking beneath seems to be a section of the roots that have been lifted upwards enough for you to travel under.
That other pack of apes you mentioned, did it look like it was maybe the missing apes we saw, or is it an
No, it's a
different
full
pack?
pack of apes, and he specifically said they travel in packs of 6.
Are
Are
there-
we all aware of their direction or where they are at this point? Or
Person could make you aware, yeah.
right.
Yeah, Prissa's relaying the information she knows. Mr. Dion, the apes, are they territorial with their packs?
I do not know. I stayed this low to not deal with them.
Okay.
I believe the leg that you were given is the source of why they're following us.
It is a little loud.
I am sorry.
Yeah, it is not your fault.
If we had more time, I'm sure Jimmy could have made it more quiet.
I have some oil, but it's not going to stop the decompression from happening.
Right.
For now, we are safe beneath the roots. So, let them follow us.
Dion, do you recognize if are they like actively hunting us, or are they merely
Oh
keeping
yeah,
a
they
watch?
they are hunting us.
All right. Well,
If we're about to go into an opening, they can't fit down here, and none of them disrupt the roots. So we should be prepared if we enter the opening, which
Right.
we should be doing probably by tomorrow.
do you know if they have any? Well, are there any things that's useful for scaring them off?
They don't
Well,
like loud noise.
I also have a spell prepared for that sort of situation.
Do not burn down the forest.
Oh no, it's not. It's not anything like that.
Not yet, anyways.
Yeah. They have limited interaction with spell users. Do not burn down the forest. Okay. So, you all keep traveling like this, and the hour goes by that your eye is up there, and then boop, your eye's back in your head, Prissa. As you are traveling, yeah.
I can also keep collecting the moss because I have an idea. I have ideas for this.
Okay. I'm gonna maintain your other your other survival check as you are, scrounging up for some. Along the day's travel, you'll probably pick up another vial full. Without wanting to slow down the pace of everybody to, stop and scrape every little bit off.
I'm fast.
So, will we have had a long rest now, or?
Well, we're getting to that part.
All right. Yeah.
It's a very dangerous jungle. We actually have to go through each set, just to be sure. So, you all continue traveling until nighttime, where you all sit down and relax and start settling in. I do need sleeping orders.
Is there enough room for me to set up my tiny hut?
No.
Chris, I think you need to level up that spell.
I'll think of ways to improve it. I'm thinking of a way for the air filtration because that thing with the plant was bad.
I'll be on first watch because I don't like it when it gets dark.
All right, Jimmy's first.
Lauren, you
Yes.
seem to have some ability to, I don't know, control plants or something. When you caught me and Dorsen in that, let's not talk about it too much. But
Yes.
maybe are you able to, I don't know, make some sort of cover for us? Or?
Well, I can make plants grow very quickly. Or I can use it to enrich in the land for about a year's time.
Okay, so you can make them grow, but you can't really control how they grow, or?
No, they
Okay.
grow as they would over time, but
Right, well-
quickly.
Point of order. Prissa molds earth, and immediately underneath your feet, you notice that the roots are filling up this area as well, as the earth is being pushed out of it. Now you're on stumbly ground full of roots.
Oh, I'm not doing it like in a way to mess with them. I'm doing it.
If you do it at all, it's going to be roots. You guys are inside of a canopy, a tunnel of roots right now.
Ah, okay, that changes things.
Yeah, well, now you know. So, Jimmy's on first watch. Who's going to be second?
I can take second watch.
All right,
We'll
Prissa's
take
second.
I'm gonna join Prissa on second.
Honorath is joining Prissa on second.
Take third.
Dorsen's third. Lauren, do you want to jump in anywhere, or do you actually want to get a full night's rest?
No, Alarm will.
Paladin, he doesn't need any sleep.
He'll take a full night's rest. Worst case, something happens. He always has his weapon, so he's used to sleeping
Alright.
all the night.
So I need perception checks for each watches.
Yep. That'd be a 5.
Alrighty. Roll for Ouch as well. He can keep watch.
That's what I was rolling for.
Okay, not yourself. Gotcha.
He has a higher perception than I do, so I'm just rolling for Ouch.
Okay, I gotcha.
Jero, to it's a little late for me to say it, but so Professor Yurik would be keeping watch with me. But like I said,
it's
a little late to say it.
because Conoroth also rolled, so and he's on your watch.
And although
yeah.
technically I'm on watch, I'm working on something, so Ouch is the only one.
So, are you working on your patent then, Jimmy?
No.
Or-
I'm just preparing some devices, getting my self tinkering out of the way.
Okay. So, during the evening, did any of you want to interact with each other on your watches?
Anarath.
I'm asleep during your watch, and my arms are tucked underneath
You're
my
on
arm.
second watch, so this is us switching watches.
He just shakes his head. No.
All right. I go to bed.
Alrighty. Conoroth and Prissa?
I'm sorry about Jimmy. He's very strangely insistent about touching you with the actuator. I don't get why, but I'm sure he has his reasons.
I am aware of why he wishes to. I have met many curious people in the past. Some whose curiosity ended up killing them.
Well, curiosity killed the cat, as they say.
I always heard it as curiosity killed the kobold.
Oh, well, I can see that happening. I've actually got a friend named Zampa back at the Lyceum. He's a kobold, and he likes to cook near the room of poison. So it's well, I just hope he's still all right.
Indeed. I noticed you also were gathering the moss.
Yes, I was taking samples because I was curious about it, and I figured maybe if someone has issues seeing something, I could use it as a temporary light source without causing a fire.
That is a possibility, but based on my knowledge, if it is dried out, it could be more explosive than gunpowder.
You mean, isn't that the same sort of powder that that Percival von Musseldorf? Okay, I can never pronounce his name, but he's one of the members of Vox Machina, and he had something similar that caused his device to make a boom, and
Yes.
that's... Huh.
And I have determined that it is possible to grow it outside of this environment.
Well, if anything, I probably would bring it back to the Lyceum, and we could set it up in the, inside one of the underground archives we have, because that way we can, instead of using magic, we have a more natural light source.
From what I've determined, it needs to be moist, dark, and it feeds off the fibrous substances like wood.
Oh, then maybe it might not be the best idea. So you didn't know Grunt, but well, and I didn't know Jaki very long, but can you tell me more about him?
I didn't have many interactions with him personally. I only knew of him and general things about him.
Well, it's you're part of the same order, and so is there anything you can tell me about that? Because my friend I think was part of the order. I mentioned before his name was Grunt.
Would I have heard of a grunt?
You know that Jackie had a student under him a long time ago, about 10 years or so. But that student was reported to be dead. And then after that, it's always possible that if one of you discovers another one like you, that you have two options: take them under your wing and teach them, or kill them. They're too dangerous to allow to be wild.
No, I did not know him. Last I heard, Jackie had not had another one in 10 years.
Oh, well, well, I guess to update you, I think he was teaching Grunt before he passed. But that was about a year or so ago.
So this grunt is dead then.
Priscilla just nods solemnly.
Carol just like hums a bit like, definitely thinking on things.
During the rest of your rest, unless anybody wanted to have any other interactions, nothing happened. All got fairly lucky. Morning rolls around, food is being prepared for you. Alarin, for the first time in so long, you have a nice, full-length, long rest without somebody trying to make you keep watch, or without getting woken up in the middle of the night. It's nice. Very nice. So, you're all awake, and you start traveling once again. Now, first thing in the morning, on your shoulder, or right beside you, Konaroth, still tied up is that same roguish individual.
I'll remove the rag.
Thank you. I have to shit.
Okay.
Do you want to be carrying a man covered in shit for the rest of the night?
Let us. I've
I have
prepared
done so more than
the spell
once.
I was thinking about.
Ah, perfect then. What am I agreeing to?
Right. Let me just check the details first.
Earlier I went a little back that ways and used mold earth a little bit to make a hole. If you wanted to, I can go dig another hole.
So, what was your name, pirate?
My name. The Tumbler.
The Tumbler. Right, you
That's
have
a
some
weird name.
imaginative parents.
Do I recognize that name?
Not in particular. I mean, it's a fairly common pirate name. People who think themselves to be higher.
Oh yes, the great and mighty tumblers, one of 1,000 years.
Why are you called the tumbler though?
Because I'm very nimble.
Well, couldn't you have been called the nimbler then, or
That's stupid.
if you wanted to throw people off, you could name something that was the opposite of what you actually are. So it'd be like the slow man, or
That would have been a good idea.
So,
You know, you're very smart.
oh, thank you.
So, Sir Yurik,
yes. So when I cast this spell on you, you will agree to not put any of us in harm's way, either directly or indirectly. You will not try to run away from us. You will not try to deceive us or mislead us in any way. And you will help us achieve our goals. And you will do what we say. If you do so, you will live. Do we have an understanding?
I suppose so.
Right. So do not try to resist.
You all watch as a sun appears on his open chest and just emblazes into it. Wait, what the fuck? You're a devil.
I'm not a devil.
He's a cleric.
And this is the mark of the Everlight. If you try to go against our agreement, it will hurt you.
Roll intimidation, Yurik.
I just gotta say this. I, Sir Yurik Falcone, command you.
Oh, of course. I'll be very careful. All right.
Yeah, let me just post
It's not a full charm, no.
No.
It is mostly like a devil's pact, meaning you are given a course of action that can happen. And if they fail to follow this course of action, they will be hurt severely.
It's a really strong spell if you use it right.
It's religious slavery.
Well, to be fair, though, it can only hurt you severely once per day, I think.
See,
So-
Jimmy, who's the evil one in the party?
I know.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
more than once each day.
Uh,
He's
and
got
it's
that mark
also
for 30 days, so
Yeah, but it's 5d10 if it hurts you.
I mean, this is a spell I would expect from Sir Yorick, though.
Yeah.
I mean, out of everyone here, Sir
Upper
Yurik,
class human.
between the artificer working with someone questionable, the pirate, the person who does blood stuff, and the one who's
I like blood stuff.
I don't know. I don't know how to describe
And the
Chris on that
pompous
one.
rich kid.
All right.
Yeah,
At this point, we
We're a group of supervillains at this point.
need to take a break, guys. All right, we'll be right back. Hello, everybody. We are back. Prissa, potentially. I don't know the spell. We'll figure it out. So, before we jump into the action, as per usual, we have our announcements. Media, open slots, and TPK kick. There we go. Be sure to support us over on our medias. If you are interested, fantastic Bestiary Volume 2 is coming out from Total Party Kill. Definitely go grab that one. And if you want to play in any of our games, reach out and let me know. So, that is everything. Players, you've rested, you've gathered yourselves, and now you're on the move. Walking for a very long time at this point. Day in and day out, for the past 2 days, it is becoming really tiresome and very annoying having to be underneath this canopy instead of being able to breathe and feel the fresh air and sun around you. Now,
Once every one of those days that we're traveling, Prissa will do the arcane eye again, just to check and see if they're still being followed by those apes.
okay. Nah, they got bored of you.
Yeah, Prissa informs the party.
Hypnotic gaze. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. So, everybody. The travel is tedious, long-winded, but at least in decent enough company. Are you still carrying him on your shoulder, or are you allowing him to walk again?
I'll allow him to walk.
All right.
But he's definitely in front of me, like, and I have like a rope tied to him. Like, if he tries to run away, I'm just yanking him back.
All right.
Kanarath, that seems a bit demeaning, especially after Sir Yurik put that gas on him.
Oh, it's no problem. I kinda like it.
Yeah, it's not necessary at this point.
Sure, I can't betray you.
There are people who find ways around that. Clever individuals.
You
think I'm clever?
He
Thank you.
resisted.
This one is less clever than he thinks he is.
You would all know when he screams out in pain and agony from taking 5d10.
Ah.
Yes. You know, this canopy kind of sucks. Dion, why did you bring us down here in the first place? Dion just looks over his shoulder and glares at him.
You know, speaking is a privilege.
Yes, one that I'd like to take advantage of very often. Oh, come on! You all are so sticks in the mud. You never have some fun?
Not wrong about wanting to use whatever privilege, you know. It's if I had a good privilege, I wouldn't want to abuse it, but I'd like to take full advantage of it.
See, I knew that you were a very smart woman.
If you use it too much, then that privilege can be taken away.
Oh, fine. He starts whistling the entire time.
You do know that if you draw attention to us unnecessarily, that could cause you to violate one of our agreements.
Oh, I don't think I'm the one causing attention towards us. Points at the hydraulic leg.
It's been a couple days. Jimmy hasn't jerry-rigged a pillow to put on that.
It doesn't. It's a hydraulic system. You don't make them quiet.
Although we
Yeah,
have
just
had
duct tape
like
some pillows around it.
2 days of rest or stuff like that. Would Jimmy have had enough time to maybe once again MacGyver jury rig a way to quiet it?
No.
Can you jury rig a way to quiet this guy?
Yes.
It's called a gag ball. Or
Mr.
bucket.
Dion, how much further do we have to go?
Not very. We should be getting there midday today.
That's good.
Wonderful.
As you're all walking forward, let me check something real quick.
Another TPK monster cameo.
Yeah, Lauren is keeping an eye out, so.
Oh, roll a perception check then.
Aha. 22.
Okay. I believe that's high enough, actually.
So my passive would have hit it.
No, that was also high enough, but I was getting to that point. As you're all walking through this area, Dorzen and Alarin both stop you simultaneously. As you look forward, there's a very, very thinly veiled wire. You almost didn't even see it across the section of area that you are walking towards.
Why do we stop?
There appears to be a wire of sorts. A trap, perhaps.
Jan, is this something you're familiar with?
Where is it? I'm like standing right over the wire.
Sir Yurik, who'd you ask?
Dion.
Dion. No, we do not use wire.
Right.
Tumbler.
Jimmy, stand very still,
I'm
Tumblr
trying to-
looks over and goes, "Oh, do you want me to go look at that for you?"
I was wondering if you knew something about this.
I'd have to get closer to tell.
It's a wire in the middle of the road. Do you know if they put it there or not?
More than likely somebody put it there. It is suspicious that the tree would grow a wire.
I'll pick him up and just hold him like directly above it, like holding him like sort of like a battering ram. Like, does it look familiar?
All right, give me an athletics check.
Come on, that's gotta be easy enough.
I'll help him do it.
Okay, yeah, between the two of you, yes.
Chris uses his mage hand to help as well.
Mage hand holds the hair back. Just thank you. So he's going to investigate. Yes. This is a explosive tripped wire. If you look down that way and over that way on either end, there is a pin put into a small device that if you would have tripped this wire, the pins would be pulled taut. Ting! Boom. He says, literally inches from the wire with a smile.
Wait,
So we
what
just
was
cut
it?
the wire and it's
Kaboom.
and it's disarmed if we cut it, or
It depends who built it, actually.
I start going down to the end of the wire.
Okay, roll an investigation. Jimmy?
I'll help.
Krista will go to the other end of the wire.
I will help Prissa with my very limited thieves
I'm being
knowledge.
helped 20.
Only 2 people interact at a time.
Oh, sorry.
So, Jimmy and Konora. First ones to declare. With your advantage, Jimmy, 20, you make it to the one side. You look inside of a slight divot, and it looks like it was carved out on the inwards angle, so only somebody walking from the opposite direction would see it. There is a large contraption that appears to have nails sticking out of it to be pressed into the actual bark of the tree. In addition, the wire itself does go over to a pin, but the pin actually has 6 other wires intertangling in different directions that make it so if the tension is pushed or the tension released, it will explode.
Oh, okay. Can you guys, I want to see if I can get this. Can you get somewhere safer?
Right, let's backtrack a little bit then.
Should-
Be careful, okay?
Yep. Ouch, come here.
If you're at all capable, I whisper to myself.
I'm going to attempt with Ouch's mechanical assistance, disarm this device and acquire it.
Okay. Are you proficient in thieves' tools at all?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead and roll a thieves' tools check.
Very proficient.
And we've all backed up too, right?
Yes, all of you,
16, I am going to flash my genius and make it a 20.
Okay.
Flashing is genius again, guys.
Man, you
Look
just like
out.
to show off that genius.
So, on a dirty 20, you end up pushing the tension, testing in different directions to see exactly how much you could force with each of the wires, and start taking your time looking around it on each side, having Ouch crawl around above to the other side, looking at it as well, and eventually you come to realize that if you snip this one wire, it may actually deactivate all of the tension pools with the pins inside of it. Maybe.
Everybody, I figure, has gone
About 40 feet back.
We
40
believe
feet
in
back.
you.
I'd imagine they would have enough faith in you to be 40 feet away.
All right. My faith in science says cut the wire,
Alrighty.
so I will attempt to do so.
Snip. You were just barely successful on the 20.
I was about to ask too, is it a red wire or a blue wire?
Doesn't matter. Ouch is colorblind. I said
that's great. Thank God it was all normal wires with no colors.
Yeah.
I have expected Jiro to say like, does Ouch avoid the wire?
No. You command Ouch, and it is intelligent enough. So you release it, and all of the other ones quickly and just shoot and sit as wires. All of you hear the snapping of several different wires, but none of the pins are released in that action. So you use Ouch to dig around the tree to actually take the nailed in device. And the device is about I'd say about 8 inches long and about 3 to 4 inches thick at the base, and up where all of the pins and the nails exceed outwards. Probably an additional 3 inches thick.
I stick it into Ouch.
Right. Shink.
2 of them, right?
Yep.
How big did you say they were?
8 inches long, 3 inches thick, with the nails at the top, an additional 3 inches.
Guys, I think I got it. Prissa, you can't write on Ouch anymore, though. Sorry.
That's fine. Is it alright if I take one of those?
One of.
The exploding things.
Oh, I got him. I got him in Ouch. I was going. Well, I guess there's 2 of them. Yeah, you can have one, and I take one out.
Thank you. Is there a way for Prissa to take out the nails to this thing? So that
Sure.
it's not
Sleight of hand.
using magic or no?
No.
Guidance on Prissa.
Prissa's
Backing
gonna
up from Prissa. I'm backing
So you have
up
guidance.
from Prissa.
Vero, you gave me 2 bombs. I only needed 1.
But you know what you're doing with them. That's the difference.
Well,
You know you're doing something with them. That's the difference.
I guess first thing I should ask given how the dimensions you told me, would I be able to somehow fit it in my coin purse of holding?
No.
Alright, so I have to take the nails out.
Okay. Roll sleight of hand for me.
No, sorry, I said that as I'm going to have to, but I'm going to do that when we're not in a confined space.
Okay.
So, for the moment, I go to Dorzen and I put it in the bag of holding.
Are those
That
things...
Dorzen does not have.
Wait, who has the bag of holding then?
I believe Jimmy has it now?
Jimmy has it?
So, Jimmy,
Lauren had a hand versus
Jimmy's
I think
AFK,
Jimmy
by the
had
way.
one
oh,
for
I'm here.
Morgan.
I can
Okay.
hear you guys.
Yeah.
I can always hear you. I'm just like right off screen.
Do you have a bag of
so-
holding?
Yeah,
One of us had a bag of holding. Alright.
I have
Yeah,
one.
so thanks, Jimmy. Can you hold on to this for a bit, and I put it in your bag of holding?
Jimmy, you know you can't put that in a bag of holding.
I take it and I put it back in Ouch. I'll hang on to it.
The nails would rip
Okay.
the bag with force.
Oh!
So, should we still worry about those things, or did you like completely disarm them?
No, they're not disarmed, but I mean, if they go off, they're inside of Ouch, and his plating's pretty good, so it shouldn't cause too much damage. And that's the only assurance you get.
All right.
Okay, we will stay a little bit away from Ouch then.
You're the expert on this, Jimmy. So I trust you.
Is
I should
it?
become one of those German remote control bombs.
Yeah.
Professor Yurik hops onto Ouch and is now currently riding him.
What do you want me to call those devices, Jiro? Just like nail bomb or something?
Call it The pirates. One second here. I have the actual thing.
But device.
The pirates double rig trap.
Okay.
Add 2 of them. Mark it down as 3. So you have 2 of them, but it's the pirates double trip trap 3.
Okay.
You have 2 of them.
So it's the third version of this device.
There's multiple versions of the same types of traps that they utilize.
I can keep Ouch kind of off to the side. So I'll just have him follow us along, like keep him like a 25-foot berth away from whoever.
Alrighty. So, you all continue traveling, and for the rest of the day, or the rest of this afternoon, nothing. Now, as you approach closer towards the entryway, or the large canopy that is opening up, you finally see full-fledged daylight shining through and cutting through this thick forestation. The grass itself has shifted into a nice mossy green tone. The overlapping canopy is stretching out from every direction, and you see the opening before you. When you're about...
Before anyone goes into it, I want to like stop everyone. So, are we completely sure that those apes are gone? Dion?
They seem to have gotten bored a few days ago, but I can cast a spell to check again.
Well, I wouldn't want you to use unnecessary resources if we are.
It's okay. I've got plenty of resources.
Dion, do you have any ways to tell?
I usually look.
Well, it might not be just the apes, so it might be. This might be a resource well spent. And Prissa will once again cast Arcane Eye to do some scouting before we leave this canopy.
All right. Go ahead. Roll a perception check. You're rolling pretty well with that. It does not appear like there's any apes in this area, although you do see other forms of fauna around the wide open area. And Prissa, now that you're above the canopy, you see a lot more. The trees have woven into a natural looking temple. Vines obscure it from an opaque long past. However, this temple does not resonate with any religious information that you would understand. The entryway has arches that caress in front on all edges, made out of stonework. Very old, very decrepit, grayed, moss-covered stone. Most of which are cracked or falling apart. The entry itself looks as if it is a keyhole, though it is 20 feet high and about 10 feet wide. Or 30 feet high, about 10 feet wide at the base.
Prissa describes that, but and so there's no apes, but is there anything else that looks dangerous, like evil deer?
Yes, everything in this forest looks dangerous.
Okay, well, Prissa just describes everything that's around the area that we need to go.
Lots and lots and lots of dangerous predators in this forest.
So. But look, there's a cute-looking deer. That should be safe.
Oh, no. We know they're not safe.
The deer pounces on top of a tiger and eats it.
No, it'd be like that one. I can't remember what it was, but it just like the things like we're about to eat the main character in a cartoon, and then they just kept eating each other.
But anyways. Alright, well, it looks as if it is clear enough for us to approach.
I can send Ouch up ahead if you want, Mr. Uric. It just seems like it's pretty quiet.
Well, if it's clear, then we may proceed, I suppose.
No?
Yes.
You all walk out from underneath the canopy and have to squint for a minute as your eyes get readjusted to actual light above you. And you still see this temple, which is hidden very deep in the forest with trees growing on it, around it, inside of it, all around as well. And it even takes you a moment to look around and see it. And as soon as you all lay your eyes upon this, I need a wisdom saving throw from each of you.
My
Bloody hell.
favorite stat.
Does my Fae come into account?
Your Fae does come into account.
Oof, Jimmy.
Wisdom.
Jimmy,
Is it
even with a
magical, or is
+4
it-
and an additional +4,
Bring it on.
I'm going to say this does not count as magical, Chris.
Let's see. Would anything I have help on my end?
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
Alrighty then.
This isn't something I think I would be flashing genius for, though, Jero. Typically, I think about that in a very astute, scientific manner.
Sure, sure.
Do we all get the bonus from Ilaran?
Yes, of course. But that doesn't affect most of you.
Yeah, that's,
Alarin,
Do I need to roll for ouch, or is
Yep.
it a condition thing he'd ignore?
ouch is a construct, he's fine.
Is this something Aura of Courage would help with?
Aura of Courage? That gives you against fear, right?
Yeah.
No.
I already have advantage against being frightened.
Yeah. So Alarin, you are successful. Sir Yurik, you are successful. Everybody else, the moment you lay eyes on this incredibly vast, very large looking structure, a minor sense of greed overcomes you. As you realize all of the riches that could lie inside of it, all the information that could lie hidden in those depths in this temple. Now, you can act normally, but you do have a minor sense of greed in your heart right now. And none of you noticed that magic happened before you ask.
Do those blood marks do anything, or is that just for that ritual?
Doesn't seem to be doing anything right now.
Okay.
Wait, so who's affected by this?
Not Alarin, not Sir Yurik.
Okay.
What about the
Not
guy bound?
Ouch. The guy bound? None of you know.
Can I just ask you?
Hey, Raven Queen over here.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Jimmy?
Yeah, the feeling is only towards what may be inside the temple, correct?
Correct.
This isn't like okay.
No, it's not amplifying your current state and everything of your life. It's just in reference to what may be inside. You feel that.
Sir, Mr. Dion, have you ever seen what might be in there?
We only step into the boundary every year to pay respects and give homage to what lies within.
Oh, well, was there any records of any sort of archive or stories about an archive?
Records, archives.
Do you know what lies within?
Do you have stories about the temple?
Our stories are this is a sacred land that is meant to destroy the hearts of those impure.
Well, it doesn't seem to, I don't know, pose a threat at this moment or anything, unless maybe the pirates,
The stories
if they were ahead of us, they may have placed more of those traps, I suppose. Be on the guard.
Probably the stories were embellished, because that's how usually oral traditions are. They embellish upon it to tell the story and make it more fantastical to keep telling.
What was it that Juger wanted us to get from here?
Oh, I don't think we were supposed to know that.
So how do we know what we're getting for them?
We'll have to go inside.
So just whatever's in there, we take it all out and back to Juger.
No.
But
I don't understand the plan.
Have like a short reiteration of what the actual mission was, because we're supposed to take care of the guys who put up the place, or
We were supposed to rescue the people lost inside and either stop outsiders
Love
from
game.
getting in or
Out of game, he's saying this. Out of the game.
Yeah, out of game.
Yeah, we're supposed to stop whatever is. We're supposed to make it so people can't come back or something. Like
Yeah,
they don't want the rumor to keep coming back.
either to seal the temple shut or stop the basically outsiders from getting in somehow.
And to save the people who have been captured as guides to it.
Yeah.
Quick question, Jero. This new feeling of sudden, like, you know, I guess best way to put it, greed. Does it override, like, certain personality aspects of our characters, or is it like...
You are
just-
greedy for what the temple may have inside. That is what I can say.
Okay. I can still act like person then. But just,
Yeah,
you
you're
know.
still Prissa. It's just now you're greedy
Yeah.
for what's inside.
But would saying that we were to rescue the tribespeople lost inside, would that was okay to say, wasn't it?
No.
Technically, we weren't allowed to say the reason we were going to the temple. We were not allowed to say why we were helping them.
Not to
Oh,
us,
That we were
anyways.
helping them at all, I think, if I remember right.
But you couldn't
No.
tell Jimmy and Prissa because, you know, we were whatever.
So
He's
I,
not to speak a word of it to anybody.
so I am asking what our mission is here. I'm
To
trying
go into the temple. That is your goal, Jimmy. Go into the temple.
just
Well, I
we
mean,
walk
that seems-
inside and then walk out. That seems way too easy.
No,
Jimmy, it's
we are with our friend Dion here. We are to help bring his people back out.
and I don't know about you, Jimmy, but I'm kind of excited to see what we might find in there. I mean, I don't think anyone's really been at this temple in a long time.
Are your people still alive?
I do not know.
Okay.
Most likely the pirates are in there too,
Well,
so we have
should
more than
probably
one reason
hurry
to go.
if they are still alive. Like, you don't have a lot of time.
Yes, so we
let's-
best hurry.
Let's go hurry. So, you all start walking out over towards it, and while he's walking over, he kind of like keeps hearing his footsteps and stops right outside of the archway that leads into the other archways that lead into the temple. I do not think it is a good idea for me to go in. I can't be quiet with this leg.
I mean, I
Alright,
can take it off.
You
if
watch the
want,
pirate then.
But
You wish for me to watch the bait?
I mean,
I'll watch it. It's fine, but you all seem to be good, kind-hearted people. It's
well, your leg has had some days of rest now.
not really.
Yeah,
He's
it's-
still walking. He's just not applying pressure to it.
All right.
Yeah, he's still
Well,
rattling it around.
Yeah. Right. Well, I suppose we'll have to proceed without you then. But if we encounter some of your people, do you have any? Is there something we can say or do that will make them know that we are friendly?
The markings on the three of your faces.
All right. Well,
We
that's-
understand that to belong to the Ruksha. We are good friends with their people as well.
Right. Well, that's good. And,
You all step inside.
Would I get a sense if this place has been touched by evil at all?
Do you have something that says you would?
I get
are you a paladin?
Graham's psychometry.
I'm sorry.
I will
Please
definitely.
let him finish what he is saying. What were you saying?
I have a grim psychometry.
If you would like to make a history check to recall there's no information to recall. It doesn't exist.
Fair enough.
Previously unknown to the character on higher rolls. Make a history check then. Wow. That is insane. It says, fuck you, I know things.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead.
It should just be a normal roll,
Yes.
I believe. 15.
That's not a higher roll. Sorry. It's hard to discern anything. I mean, it looks lavished, it looks broken down, old, but it probably holds so many tempting secrets inside.
Right.
So. What were you saying, Alarn?
Divine sense.
Go for it. Please roll it. I need to read it, actually.
Yeah. There we go. It's more for the
Yeah, there's nothing. None of it.
not consecrated, not desecrated. Okay.
Nope. No celestial, fiends, undead. No,
Yeah.
none of that.
Yeah, I was more going for the consecrated, desecrated. As with the
Also, none
hallow.
of that. It's not desecrated, or hallowed, or consecrated. It's just the ground.
Man.
So you said a couple archways and then a door?
There are two overlapping archways that are semi-broken or cracked through, and then the key-shaped doorway. It's hooked straight up and then circles towards the top, almost as if it is a keyhole.
Does it look similar to the vision, the Raksha matron?
It does.
And it showed. She showed Alarm something specific about it. I just can't remember it myself.
Roll a perception check, see if you can see that's something different.
13.
Whatever specific thing you saw, you cannot clearly discern inside of it.
Well, it appears we are at the right place, and I cannot sense any evil about the place, at least.
Well, let's just get inside, be on our guard, and look out for both traps and pirates.
And those of you in the Discord server, I just uploaded an image of what you are looking at right now.
Oh.
Oh, it does say if I'm a location president, I have an advantage on the roll.
Then roll again, see what happens.
Gotta read the whole thing. 22 this time.
22 I would consider high. You have visions of this place. The wood surrounding it aging backwards down to the point where this jungle was just beginning to bud and bloom in this territory. The vision shows the temple slowly regrowing and the battle of many different armies and different fights that happen on these grounds. The desecration that, not the desecration, sorry, I can't use that word because somebody used that ability. The fighting, the bloodshed, everybody who came here trying to dive, crawl over each other, stab each other in the back, and charge into this temple. And it continues aging backwards, you watching thousands of people dying, to the point where you see that the overhanging ivory archway on top has a grimaced face, frowning downwards with gnarly shaped chin stretching into stars and hooks on it. If you look at the image itself, dead center in the top of it, it does almost look to have a face imbued into it. And you see that as some type of creature calling people inside. Now, it ages back even further where this temple was originally constructed. And you watch as a very ancient, bone-riddled creature lied down in this location, unhinged its jaw, and created this doorway itself, taking a deep breath and settling down. If the question is this place evil? Yes, it is.
I will convey that to the party.
Sure. And the one thing that sparks forward in your mind is those hundreds of thousands of soldiers that have been swallowed by it. There's probably some good stuff in there.
Things aren't evil, Kanaroth. People are evil. Gods are
Sorry.
evil.
And if we go inside, we might be able
Kanaroth
to
just
find out
said
what
he
happened.
conveyed it to the party, so I'm responding.
Well, Jimmy, it is possible for the evil of people to.
I've
So-
never met an evil object in my life.
What about demons?
Yeah, those are creatures, those are entities, but you're
And
saying
items forged by demons.
no, they're not evil.
Well, we have a hammer that is clearly good, or at least neutral. I would say there is a possibility of items being evil as well.
The hammer's a hammer.
Well, I mean, the hammer is maybe a hammer, Jimmy, but with demons, that's. Jared, do I have enough information, at least scholarly, to know that why demons are considered evil?
Because they do evil and bad things. Yes.
Jimmy, they do bad things all the time, not just things that were considered law to be bad. They're just bad in general.
And there are, I have at least heard some legends of, intelligent items that.
I get it. I get it.
so-
I get it. I get it. He's
Right,
scared.
well-
You guys don't want to. Okay, I understand. We'll go in and.
Yeah, we do have an intelligent item in our group. Dorson is holding it.
Dorzin, you're also well aware the hammer doesn't like to be called it. It is a person.
And let's not talk too much about that with our friend in tow.
Oh,
I
you
don't know,
guys
is
left
it
them
he,
back a
I
little
think.
bit. They're
Oh,
yeah.
all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought they were like
We're like
right
approaching.
behind us.
What'd you say, Jimmy?
I said we're approaching the temple. Like,
Yeah. So, you're walking
Uh,
through the thick, viney area. Yeah, Conoroth?
Knowing that it seemed to be a creature that unhinged its jaw to make this passageway, could I make like an investigation or something like to find another alternate entrance? Because it seems like it looked like they were all going towards the keyhole in the vision I saw, right?
Correct. Roll a survival check.
Survival. Okay. 10. Because this wouldn't involve checks to track if things are undead. So, no.
No, I mean, you look around, and in that quick shot of a vision through your mind, you didn't see anything else, so, I mean, yeah. This is the clear-cut entrance.
Dorson's gonna use Eyes of the Grave because that many bodies, I don't trust this field or whatever.
Okay.
I cast Light on Ouch and put him like 10 feet in front of me. Start
He still
walking.
has the explosives on him, correct?
Yep.
Eyes of the Grave, presence of undead whose existence is an insult to the natural cycle of life. This is just undead, right?
Yeah.
Nothing. No one dead here.
All right.
I want to take like a walk around the area and just sprinkle some holy water and perform like some rites of the Everlight to try and sanctify the area.
Do you have that spell prepared?
No, I don't have it like a spell. I was thinking maybe if just like a ceremony or like a.
Do you have that spell prepared?
I do.
The thing is, does it have to be like a spell? Because the church still would have like ceremonies. And
you can make a ceremonious gesture, but it will not have any effect unless you have the spell.
And what spell exactly are we talking about?
There's ceremony, there's sanctified. There's a number of spells that do things like this. I think consecrate is an actual spell. Yeah.
Hallow.
Hallow. Thank you. Hallow.
That's a big one.
So I've been looking
level
at
5
older
spell.
editions. It's all jumbling in my mind right now.
Yeah, it's a level 5 spell. I don't have that prepared right now. So.
Alrighty.
I have it prepared. I don't have the material components to use ceremony.
No, you don't.
I think there was one more as well.
One, probably, but if nobody has anything, those are spells that you would have specifically prepared in anticipation to doing this. So, alrighty. Priscus sends Professor Uric up. Dr. Uric. Advantage, perception check. Light on Ouch. The light emanates into the mouth of the cavern very easily. 17. That is... Dr. Uric has a +3 to perception?
Oh, sorry, that was my bad. My bad.
Yes, you're supposed to roll as him. He has a lower proficiency. I believe he has a +1. So that would be a
Actually,
15.
he's got a +4 to perception.
Holy shit, he's good. That'll be an 18. You look around the area, and it does not appear that any of the creatures move close enough into this temple to be within the range of any of those archways. They keep a very wide berth, and in fact, as you fly, or you have Dr. Uric fly around and look at the backside of it, the temple only produces inwards for about 40 feet or so, and it kind of hooks with the trees digging into it and pushing it down into the earth itself. It doesn't have that deep of an entrance.
I was trying to... Sorry, I meant to correct you. Dr. Uric is currently a horned bunny rabbit. So he can't fly around, but...
Oh. As it starts jumping around, trying to look out, it notices a little too late as a giant craned bird swoops in towards it. And that'll be a 24 to hit your bunny.
And I can't react. It's too late because I can't reaction to flip.
It's an action to snap it, yeah. So...
Oh, there he goes.
There's a very dissatisfied bird out in the jungle now.
I sent it to head towards the temple, though. I didn't know he was going to the jungle.
Right, but as soon as it gets close enough, it has to, like, look around, because you can't just, like, you walk forward. Here be temple. It's, yeah.
It's hoping to go into the temple, not into... Okay.
Sorry.
If any treasure hunters have ventured here, they would most likely have gone through this entrance.
Does Priscus see the bird now that she's back in her own senses and it's just flying away, looking dissatisfied?
Yeah, it's looking behind it very confused and just keeps flying.
Priscus prepares a firebolt and then stops.
I'm gonna be approaching the door, Jero, and checking for any type of like old-fashioned traps.
Roll an investigation. And in fact, Jimmy, as you are approaching closer, you do see that there is 2 bodies on the ground, very close to the entryway themselves. The bodies have started to decay, though they are not decomposing quite yet, meaning they are fairly fresh. They are wearing general adventurer's gear with very high-strapped boots, very decrepit-looking tunics against them as well, and they both have faces twisted in horror.
Mind the bodies over there.
But you don't see any traps.
Nope.
That
I
is
think
right in
we're-
the mouth.
I think we're good.
As we get closer to the entrance and those bodies are in range, Alarm will do another Divine Sense.
Okay.
Can Prissa check the bodies for any sort of who they were, or at least anything that's useful on them?
Roll an investigation. Ilarin, you take in another deep breath and nothing. 22. You start searching through them, and it appears that these individuals were probably some type of adventurers that you were told to hunt down in the first place. Now, they don't have their IDs on them, unfortunately, so you cannot discern their names or their home of address to send back the farewells to the family. However, curiously, Prissa, they don't have any equipment, weapons, coin purses, anything on them. Completely
looks like
picked
someone-
clean.
I think someone already picked their goods cleaned. There's not even any information on who they were.
Well, I guess we can assume that the pirates did that. If these are, can I want to do a medicine check just to try and estimate how long they've been here.
Sure, roll medicine.
Me.
Couple of days, weeks, somewhere within that range. That's the best you can really put it.
Right.
They're
Are
shining
they-
directly in sunlight, so their bodies would, start decaying faster.
Yeah. Are they
Oh,
human or?
I would say you would definitely notice that they are human.
All right.
You said they were picked clean of equipment and stuff, so clothes, and you mentioned their boots.
No,
Are
they
nice
have their-
boots?
The boots are just general adventuring boots. Their clothes are still adventuring clothes, but anything that looked like it had value on it has been picked clean.
That's interesting.
And it's also very disappointing, Prissa.
Are you guys coming in?
I might hear Jimmy.
So, Jimmy, you step
I'm at the
inside.
door.
All right. You step on in. Looking around the stone-like and over-encompassing walls, you do see branches and roots shooting through them, cracking through the work and down into the earth itself. The passageway itself is completely devoid of moisture or any senses that would be alarming to you. And the fact that this is a cave or cavern or something doesn't really match that. And even for you, it's kind of concerning. However, Jimmy, about 25 feet in front of you, there's a pile of things.
Is it dark in here?
It is, but you have the light from Ouch.
I do.
Yeah.
But I can't see if there's other things in here, so I'm going to cast Shadow Solution and give myself Dark Vision.
You peer around and you see the walls down at the very back of this temple are covered in different fine tapestry, rugs, swords, blades, equipment, piles of gold, all of these really nice, interesting looking things. And who knows what's underneath all of it as well. And that greed spikes up in you again, Jimmy.
There was no door we came through, by the way. It's just like an entryway.
It's just an archie, yeah.
Okay. If there's, I see something up here, and I'm just going to run up and.
Oh, wait for me! And Prissa will start trying to catch up with Jimmy.
Alrighty, so you see it at the same time, Prissa, and you go, ooh, and just hurry your feet all the way up there. Everybody else? The two little ones have already ventured deep into the bowels of this cave.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Alarm
I'll
follows
crying out
after
loud.
because this doesn't seem good.
Okay.
Doors and just go straight in because these two.
Yeah.
Kanaroth
Alone in a
is
temple full of crazy.
Yes,
Kanaroth
Kanaroth?
with that vision is going to be extremely cautious, but he will eventually proceed. But he's on guard. He knows something's not right.
Sure. Now, as all of you also head in there, you all see the same thing. Alarin and Yurik, you see the two of them are just picking through the piles, like looking for something that might be interesting. Prissa pulls out, ooh, a vial of something, and like just looks ecstatic about it. And Jimmy's pulling out these odd-shaped metal components, going, wow, this is amazing. Dorzan and Kanaroth, the same thing happens to you the moment you see this pile. You just shoot towards it and start digging through aggressively, trying to find something.
Can I roll an inside check, or do I even need to?
Do you need to? Do they usually act like this?
Dorzan definitely doesn't.
Kanaroth for sure no.
Hey Jimmy, have you found any scrolls or books or anything here? I'm looking for those
I-
particular, but I mean this vial's interesting, but
I look at Ilaran like, are you seeing this? They're not like this usually, right?
Is it just the one pile, Jera?
It's the pile pushed all the way in the back, and along the edges there are other effects and things like that. But those are just hanging tapestries and stuff, so you're like, whatever, those don't matter to... I imagine Jimmy doesn't care about hanging tapestries, fine blades, and stuff like that.
But if everybody's like in the central pile, I'm going to like tangent off to the side and like start making my way there. Because there's enough people looking here, hopefully I can find something super good.
Sure, definitely. Now, the two of you make eye contact, Sir Yurik and Alarin, realizing you're the only two acting normal right now. And it is around that time you hear... You turn back behind you, and the mouth of this entryway has sealed shut. And as you're all looking around, and that oh fuck pops up into your mind, the ground from underneath you shifts, and you all fall backwards.
Lauren just digs
Alright,
his
all of
claws
us-
into stone.
all of us fall, or it's like
All of you.
Could I activate my slippers?
Why would you ever do that? You're busy looting.
Oh, fair enough.
And the loot's going down that way, so that's where we're going.
well, no. At this point, with like the things falling, like Prissa's still Prissa. Would she
No.
be able to?
You're
no?
greedy.
Okay.
You want this loot. It's your loot.
Would Lauren manage to...
Alarin, you stick your fingers into the edge, holding on, and everybody else is falling. Alarin, I actually need you to give me a strength saving throw.
You know what? I'm gonna use the recap inspiration.
Sure.
Can Prissa see how deep this thing is?
You're looting right now. You don't see anything. You're looting.
We're all falling though, so
We'll get to that in a moment. Thank you. Let me deal with one thing at a time, so I don't have to split my attention and start ruining the experience for everyone. All right,
guys, start rolling up new characters now.
Thank you. So, Alarn, you manage to stick your fingers into the edge, and you're starting to scrape down as you feel the shifting of the stone angling and piling, and everything starts falling. Other things from around you starts whirling around inside of this cavern and slapping and slamming against you. You are managing to hold on, however, you are going to be bludgeoned by quite a few of these objects. And all of you that are falling, you're also going to be bludgeoned. Sir Yurik, you can also give me a, since you're just falling, you have no choice in that. You give me a dex save, Sir Yurik.
Oh, yay.
Oh, no.
The other 4, you fail.
Do you want Ouch to make the save?
Ouch can attach himself, so he'll be strength
He can
save.
climb. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can literally.
Fuck it, I'll use my session inspiration for this.
For now on, declare it ahead of time. But on a 16...
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm used to it, because I'm playing another campaign where you can use the inspiration after.
Yeah, that would be lucky.
Right, 19.
19. Alright, so you're going to be fine. Everyone else, as you are falling downwards, you are getting bludgeoned as well. Alarin, you suffer 8 points of bludgeoning damage, down to 4, because you were good. Sir Yurik, you suffer 8 points of bludgeoning damage, down to 4. Ouch also takes... Ouch makes the strength save, please.
Strength save. Oh man, he ain't making that.
Never know.
14.
Oh. Yeah, no, he just falls. He's taking the 8 bludgeoning. Everybody else, you suffer 8 bludgeoning as you land down heavily on the side. Alarin, you're still attached to the side of the wall, and you watch as it's starting to shift upwards back into the floor again, with everybody down below.
Yeah, Alarin would climb down.
So you decide to venture down there, and before it snaps shut, just drop down onto some other section. Now, when you all landed or in this area, you're all kind of coughing and trying to catch your bearings again, and you look around yourselves, and you're surrounded by hundreds of piles of bones and even more treasure and riches. And you look forward, and this cavern stretches on for about 80, 90 feet before venturing and curving into other directions.
But do we still have the loot?
There is still that large pile of loot here.
Are they
I'm
still
going over
greedy?
to each of the guys who are like looting. I'm shaking them and just get to your senses, and I'm slapping them in the face.
Ow, that really hurts. Loot.
How? Zurich, why? Ah!
Take a look around you.
Right. This
I understand there's bones and stuff, but there's so much potential knowledge here.
As a point of order, the 4 of you can now give me an investigation roll.
Oh, yeah, because we're
For
fine.
who?
Yeah, you are actually looting.
Oh.
You're
Ah.
greedy bastards.
While they're doing this, I'm going to cast Dispel Magic and try and
On who?
dispel whatever is. Can I do it? You can do it as an area effect, right?
No, you can
No.
do it on a specific person and remove a specific known magic. You know that there's something on them, but...
Yeah.
Well, magical effect as well. Yeah.
He's gonna dispel the loot. Counterspell.
Luckily, I prepared that today. Counterspell.
Yeah. So who are you targeting, Sir Yurik?
I'm starting with Prissa.
Good call.
You focus the magic towards her. I need you to give me a spell attack.
Right.
Quick thing, Jared. Too. You said this thing wasn't magical though earlier.
It is not. It is not magical in the sense that it is a spell. It is a spell-like effect on you. Let me read Dispel Magic to make sure that anything could happen. So that would hit an 8th level. Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Yeah, it only specifically targets spell. It does nothing on them.
So it can't be dispelled in any way then.
Well, it can't be dispelled.
What other choices do you have to like try and get someone out of that kind of? It used to be like remove enchantment, things like
Remove
that.
cursed.
There are things. However, Prissa on a 17. As you are picking through here, you do actually find a spell scroll tied up in here. And it's neatly positioned inside of a long scroll tube that seems to be locked and sealed. Conoroth. Yes, Prissa?
Sorry, I was gonna ask if it's possible for me to. Is it like a clear scroll tube, or is it like just it's a scroll tube with clearly a scroll in it?
Clearly a
level of
scroll in
plastic.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. They use things like this in the Lyceum to hold things you don't want to get damaged out in the world. Conoroth, as you are beginning to loot through, you do find something that satiates your hunger a little bit. There appears to be a blade that's hooked and gnarly at the one edge, and many different teeth jutting out of the side of it as well. It has a reddish curve down the very top of it to the hilt, and when you pull it out, you love this blade. It is a great blade. However, Dorzan and Jimmy, you've searched through this pile and you can't find anything that satisfies you.
Would my blacksmithing knowledge give me any idea, like, what kind of person might have made this?
Somebody who is pretty edgy, probably.
Boo! Boo, this man!
Probably somebody who is more into the intimidation factor of having a weapon. The size of it seems slightly impractical, though it is well balanced and shaped and carved. It's just the image of it. You imagine, since you are a large person, if you held this up to anybody, they would probably be instinctually backing the fuck away from you. More so than just, say, a greatsword, you know?
So earlier you were saying something about slightly satisfied hunger of this kind of thing.
Yeah, Prissa, you're satisfied right now. Well, you want what's inside of it, but you can stop rummaging.
Oh, okay. Well, I found something that could be useful. Oh, there's a lot of bones around.
Yes, we tried to tell you earlier, but you were way too preoccupied with that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I maybe got a little overexcited. It happens sometimes when there's just a potential to learn, you know?
Well, with you I could understand, but with Dorson,
Just digging through coins.
that is not normal for him.
In my frustration, I reach into my pocket, pull out a magic fly, and flick it into the air, detect magic, and I start looking around for something important, something good.
Alrighty. There is magic in the area, but it's stuff that you've already been through. Conroth, don't add it to your sheet yet. Just, list it as a treasured item, please.
Hey, Jimmy, can I get your help with this real quick?
I'm a little busy right now.
Just really quickly, can you just help me open this spell scroll? I'm not too good with unlocking things on my own.
Ouch,
I should
go
learn that
open
spell.
All
that.
right, Ouch comes over and... Zing! But anyways, there is magic all inside of this cavern, filling it up, and you do notice the hordes of loot extends further backwards into this tunnel as well, and the fly keeps following it around and detecting and scanning and analyzing the things and the locations as well. Pointing out even more of it, but as you're like jumping and picking up and tossing it, just none of these things have been able to satisfy you yet.
Yeah, I just keep aimlessly going.
All right.
Would I know, now that the creature's satisfied, that something's up, since
No.
Kenroth isn't normally greedy like that?
Well, you're not, but you're still under the effect. Your greed has now been focused.
Would I be able to tell if something's wrong with the doors then after Ilarion pointed it out?
You're still focused, I would say, on your object. So I would say insight check disadvantage.
Come on, Ouch.
This scroll looks so important. Ouch doesn't have a lot of dexterity, does he?
No, only. Well, he does have a +2. That's his only positive stat.
Okay, so go ahead and investigate, Prissa.
Wait a minute. Ouch
With
fell into the
assistance.
cavern with us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's got 2 bombs in his back.
Investigate?
Yeah, with
Not
assistance.
complaining, just...
Yeah.
Okay.
You managed to find that the way to open this appears to be some type of systematic linking of different tiles that you have to move and adjust to get to the button that
So
will
a puzzle?
release it. Yes, you now have a puzzle to
Oh.
keep you distracted.
Oh, yeah, Prissa is playing with this puzzle.
Alarin, you use another divine sense. These grounds are still not desecrated, consecrated, and there are no signs of undead celestials or fiends in this location.
Is there a fae?
It doesn't say that.
Celestial Fiend Undead. It's all I pick up on.
Oh, I'm confusing it with a different one.
So, is Prissa back to herself?
Yes,
somewhat,
she is
or-
distracted by a puzzle, so yes.
Right.
Could I take a attempt to learn any history on the object using grim psychometry?
Sure, go ahead and do your history again. However, Dorzin, as you are still looting through, you kind of like get frustrated that nothing in here is what you are looking for. But you see Jimmy is going off looking for what's probably going to be your loot.
Go off after Jimmy.
Already.
Follow them.
Prissa, I have a conundrum, I suppose. I need help.
Give me a second, Sir Yurik.
Yeah,
Almost.
So, Conoroth, this blade that, let me first state, you love, you cherish, you want to keep on your person, and you are infatuated with, is an evil blade constructed out of the blood of innocent people and out of the blood of people who tried going against an evil tyrant ages ago. It has been desecrated. It has been cursed. It has been cursed to the point that it is fearful for those that go against its wielder's wishes, that go against what they want out of life.
It's a yandere sword.
And it is considered a greatsword.
It's a really great sword.
The greatest of
Hey,
swords.
evil weapon. There you go, Jimmy. There's an evil weapon.
It's the unholy revenger.
Yeah, you got
It is the
the.
Revenger, yeah. So, I believe Sir Yurik and Alarin are following after Dorzin and Jimmy, while Conoroth, you're just admiring your blade, and Prissa, you're sitting there with your puzzle.
I'm trying to get Prissa's attention, like to try and make the effect that's affecting them like a puzzle.
Just briefly, Prissa will just only briefly take her eyes off the puzzle. Sir Yurik, please have patience.
You know,
We've been
there's
traveling this
something-
whole time. I found a puzzle that
Yes,
I'm
I have another
enjoying
puzzle
for
for
once.
you.
Let me enjoy this for a moment,
I have another
please.
puzzle for you.
Then she turns back to it.
I mean, this isn't out of character for Prissa.
That is, actually. She's usually much nicer about how she goes about things.
And much more modest.
There is no point in doing anything.
I will remind you, Sir Yurik, that Prissa is so tiny you can pluck her off the ground and walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even as you do that, she's
if the
still
group
focused
is-
on this puzzle.
Yeah, if the group is splitting up, I'm definitely doing that because
Already.
Yeah,
Would I have enough aware to know that people are moving on and to follow with them since I have the sword now?
I mean, absolutely, but you're focused on your sword, not anything else. You can be like, oh yeah, sure, and just keep admiring it.
Yeah.
So, Jimmy and Dorzin, you walk forward up, and since Jimmy, you are the one taking the lead on this, I presume, with your magical sense, roll me a perception check.
Oh, I love these. These are my favorite.
No.
You assume that greed negates my
all I
passive.
could do is roll perception checks. I'd be golden.
Hey, when it's most important to Jimmy. You look left, you look right, you see magic in both directions thanks to the sense of your shit. And you see that there's about 5 magical things down that hallway. But there's like 8 magical things down this one. So you think it's better to go right.
But I know I have Dorzin behind me.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm going to fake him out. I'm going towards the 5, and then as soon as I hear him following me, I'm going to double back and run past him.
All right. Dorzin, you see him do this.
Little shit. Turn around and chase after him.
I'm running, but you could like walk after me.
Yeah,
You're not exactly hard to keep up with.
no.
Wait, hold on. I have to double check something. Okay, yep, we're good.
So, Dorzin and Jimmy, as you are walking through this area, Jimmy, go ahead, roll your investigation check.
Oh, please, for the love of God. You know what? I'm spending my inspiration. I don't know why. I just want this to be over. 21.
Not bad. So, as you are walking through this cavern in this section of the area, you start picking up these magical items that, I mean, they are interesting, they're intriguing, they're fantastic, but they're not anything that you want necessarily, not anything that you've been seeking for a long period of time. You continue through this area until you find a semi-dome shaped shield. It's about 3 feet tall, and it hooks outwards into a pike at the bottom that can sit and stabilize itself. And as you get closer, you have to rip and wrench it. And as you do, you see that there is a skeleton getting pulled up underneath the hordes of everything and falling and collapsing. Hand, the only thing still attached to this object.
I just wrench it free and start like turning it over.
Now, you're not proficient in shields, are you?
Yeah, I am.
You are.
I have a shield.
Wow.
I've had a shield
Artificers
the entire
can
time.
do that.
Alrighty, cool. Well then, as you start looking
on my back.
As you start looking at this object, it is beautiful, it is shining, it could easily protect your entire body, honestly. And it just seems fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good weight. I think a few modifications, but pretty good. And I'm just kind of like leering over my shoulder for a moment, like don't even think about it.
So, now Dorzin, go ahead, roll your investigation. Don't get a 21.
Don't get a 21? Okay. 19, how's that?
Alrighty. You look around and you see that shield, and
Flash
you know what?
genius. He has a 23 net. No, I'm not.
Okay. You could have done that for yourself.
You could have.
Wait, so am I 23 now?
No, you're 19.
Or is that who you see fucking with
No,
me?
he was fucking with you. He doesn't want you to have something better than him. Come on. You're walking around down here, and you're like looking through everything. You start picking up piles of things, and what you end up fixated on is a coin. A solid, round, brass coin that kind of shoots to the sides and juds almost like an oval. If you've ever been to one of those like state parks, you put a penny in, you crank it, and it comes out reshaped. One of those type things. Now, when you pick it up and look at it, it weighs about 1 pound in total, and it has a gnarled looking face on the front of it. This coin just looks so beautiful. So much better than any coin you've ever seen in your life. That's fucking awesome, actually, Lauren. Yeah. Cool shit. But yeah. As Sir Uric and Alarin round the corner, escorting Prissa and Conorath still taking his time walking down here, you see the two of them are investigating and inspecting their own fancy little objects. Dorzin looking at a tiny coin in his hands and just admiring, polishing, loving it, and Jimmy, picking it up, swinging it side to side, testing it, dinging it on things. And
I'm looking at Alarin and like, well, I tried dispelling it, but that didn't work, so it must be some sort of, I don't know.
It's not a magical sort of lock. It's mundane. You just gotta get the right pieces.
Are we done in here? Because I kind of want to go work on this a little bit. Like, we came in. That's all we needed to do?
Here, I can quickly set up the, well...
We're not done here. And you are all affected by some sort of compulsion that we are unable to dispel.
Yeah, yeah, it's called genius.
I don't know if it's really compulsion. It's just, we all have our own sort of desires, and well, this puzzle's a lot of fun.
You're not
Luckily, I
acting
found
like
this before
yourself.
Dorzen got his dirty hooves on it.
Oh, shut up, you little creature.
And I don't mean to be too mean about this, Sir Yurik, but you don't know me.
That's...
You don't know me, old
You
man.
don't know where I've been.
Yes, but it is strange. I do not sense anything wrong or evil with this place, but they are clearly affected by something.
I need Sir Yurik and Alarin to roll me perception checks, please. You two being the only ones still with a passive in play, even.
Oof.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah.
I'm going to use my human determination on this one.
On the bright side,
Advantage.
Alarin can't be
Advantage.
surprised because of his sword.
I'll use the session inspiration for this one.
Good thing you use that, Yurik.
17.
25, natural 20.
Sir Yurik, you look up ahead of you, and you see a couple of the natives to this territory. They're lying on the ground. They seem to have been cut and killed aggressively with weapons. There's about 3 of them in total. And as you kind of cock your head and start approaching to see if there's anything you can do, Alarin, you grab his shoulder and stop as you look further ahead, and underneath the pile is this grotesque looking fat half-orc man who seems to be shaking down here, holding onto some large staff in their hand, just quaking back and forth. And you see his hands are covered in their blood.
Your position.
Yurik, be careful. The one who killed them is still there. Apparently affected by whatever is going on here.
I'm going to... and the guy who's standing there, he's not saying anything, right?
He's sitting on the ground, shaking back and forth.
Right. I'm going to activate my helmet.
Tink.
And...
The moment you activate your helmet, Yurik, you hear a voice that is deaf to everybody else, but because of the nature of your helmet, you can understand it. The voice is emanating all around you as tiny whispers growing in this area. Gather, receive, die. Fetch for me, bring me more. Come here, consume, die.
Okay. I'm not sure if you're hearing this, Lauren, but
I
activating
do not
my
hear
helmet-
anything.
No, activating my helmet seems to have... Well, I hear some whispers, and it seems... well, it's probably the cause of whatever is affecting them. It's saying to gather, receive, and die. Yeah, it's not pleasant. Can I focus on sort of... Does there seem to be a source for it? Does it emanate from a certain point anywhere, or is it all around?
Roll. Depends on what I'm going to ask you to do. Are you trying to follow the source, or are you trying to discern the source's location?
I'm trying to discern its location.
Perception check, please.
19.
You walk over towards one of the walls and you place your ear right up against it, and you hear it's emanating from that area. And then you kind of take a step back and walk over to the other wall, and you hear it over there as well. It seems to be coming from the large temple you are standing in, as if it is speaking to you.
So the temple itself. Right. This entire place needs to be razed to the ground.
Well, Kanara did say that the temple was a creature who lay down to rest. Perhaps it is still alive somehow.
Or maybe perhaps there's something about whatever you're talking about inside this scroll case.
Krissa, at that point, go ahead and give me your intelligence saving throw. 26. As she says that, she finishes up the last little components and click, the top shoots off. And you pull out a spell scroll.
Prissa's excited that she's done this, proud of herself, unfolds it, and wants to know what this spell scroll says.
What languages do you understand, Prissa? Can't read it.
Not a problem. She spends 10 minutes to ritual cast comprehend languages.
She would not spend 10 minutes. She'd do that shit right away.
Hey, I want to know what this is. This is my spell scroll now.
Yeah. Do you have it prepared?
It's not prepared, but I can ritual cast.
Well, then, okay, that makes more sense.
That's what I was...
Thank you, Jimmy. Yeah, that's reasonable. Conrath, you were saying something?
I was just out of character. I'm wondering, am I trying to attune to the sword?
You're trying to. You are definitely trying to right now. So, the individual who's up ahead, maybe 40 to 50 feet, kind of raises his eyes and looks at each of you, and you see tears are rolling down his face as he's quaking against this staff. Or it once more, and begins trying to stand up with the staff, and you notice his leg is shattered. It's completely broken, and he stumbles forward on it.
Yeah, please wait.
More. He starts crawling towards you all.
Stop right there, wherever you are.
He's not stopping.
If he gets within 10 feet, damn it, maybe I should. Fuck it, no, I'll save it.
I'm looking at him. I'm looking at my fist and trying to assess whether I can knock him out with one punch.
Roll insight.
Also, I'm attuned to 3 things right now, Jero.
Right. So you're gonna have to unattune to something.
No, it got off. It'd probably be the slippers.
Right. 23. Half-orcs are very durable people. You don't think your fist would be able to knock him out in one hit. And he's still crawling. He has a long way to go, and he's not moving very fast, but he is moving towards you. More. Needs more.
I'm looking at him, at the guy, and I'm casting deafness.
Very clever.
What's the saving throw?
16.
Con.
It's a con save?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me 1d8, please. Or 1d6, please.
Mm-hmm. 3.
That's actually really fucking clever.
I just noticed, I can't hear the voice, maybe.
He stops moving and moves his head and... "Who are you?" shouts very loudly as he can't hear anything.
I move over towards him.
At this point, that's where we're ending tonight's session.
Oh.
So, everybody, thank you very much for hanging out with us here today. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. It was certainly fun, and I've been waiting for this fucking place for so long.
This is literally a horror movie plot.
Thank you,
I've seen
thank
this
you.
movie.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, but thank you very much for hanging out with us. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and be sure to like us on all of our platforms and to tune back again next week. Goodbye.